shout out to everybody from Sebastian. I'm Tom Camera Guy, Tommy Shutter.
I've stayed out of Sebastian for a while now for some reason. Hey, we're trying a new Delta drink today. It is a Delta Passion Fruit, 20 milligrams, and I decided to hang out with my buddy Tommy today, and beautiful downtown Sebastian. We are right across the street from the river at Smoking Bungalow, which is this cool little place that I know my buddy Kevin Beck plays quite often, and just gonna shoot the shit because Tom is here's the really weird part about our friendship is that we are complete opposites. He is a 100% liberal Navy man, and I am a more starch conservative musician dipshit, and our politics never cross. We don't discuss politics. We just believe in there's a part of the music system and the music scene here that we share a passion for and an understanding that we want something bigger and better. And he not only is he a versed author, he has written screenplays, he's written books, he does the video work. If you've seen any of the Pro Shot video, Shovelhed Pro Shot work, that's all Tom.
Well, you got another guy doing it too, though.
Yeah, me.
Else? You? Oh, I thought you were another guy.
I do the video,
you know, I can't always
sing,
get down
I play guitar,
right.
I fucking, yeah.
That's right, Dick Van Dyke, right?
Do it all.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, I was thinking about some of the things that we want to talk about here, about the do-it-yourself aspect of this whole thing. And conversations that you and I have help me to speak to other musicians, because it has always frustrated the shit out of me that musicians kind of take the lazy way out. Everything is everybody wants quick. They want quick.
Well, okay,
results.
Think about it as an artist. Do you want to paint, or do you want to around with the TV? You want to paint.
I want to paint.
You want to paint.
But
every artist I've ever talked to,
people
when
have
it comes
to
to all this stuff,
people have to
you're
see
right.
it.
But what I'm saying is, every artist I've ever talked to, though, all musicians say the same thing. I just want to do my music.
Right.
The problem is, yes, you can just do your music, but I watched a quick, 15-second clip. This one guy, I don't know the guy. He's been around since forever. I could just tell. But he said, "What are you building? A secret?" Okay? And I said, well, for shit's sake, just get your shit out there, basically, is what he said. Get it out there. And I've had people say, well, aren't you worried about somebody stealing your stuff? And I'm like, you know what? At least it would be out there, right? At least I'd have somebody to sue. Okay?
That's correct.
Right? Okay, so it's also what I call the Bob Lazar thing. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the ufology thing with Bob Lazar, Area 51, and he supposedly worked
That's where I was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
no,
out? Okay, all right. So, Knapp, Roger Knapp, he said, the only way out is through. He said, you need to just go big. So the advice we're getting now is, I'm very introverted. I'm what they call an introverted intuitive. And so for me, COVID, stay home. What's the problem? Okay, there's no problem. Yeah. Okay, I got plenty to do. Okay?
Yeah, you too.
So artists, they don't want to deal with the social media stuff, but the problem is you have to be your own a multi-hatted guy. You've got to go and think about what do people see when they see us on stage.
Yeah, but see here, it translates to more. It translates to the fact that it forces the musician to look at the situation as a business. And the unfortunate part is now, when did the internet was invented? 90 what?
Well, I remember started working on it in that was my IT career. My IT career, just so you know, I started off doing mainframe repairs, working for a company that cloned IBM terminals, not the computers. So this is before the computer. I was working for this company. I was basically a 23-year-old board swapper. I was going in and changing out boards. I learned all that. Then the PC came around. I'm just trying to think of my own history, around 84, 85.
Yeah.
And then, so my kids grew up with the internet, and my house was networked, everything.
No way. There's no way the internet was 84, 85. I had a fucking TC Electronic
Well, it was
Texas
starting
Instruments fucking
in DARPA in. Okay, so by the time
but worldwide web wise,
91 somewhere in there, yeah.
But you got to look at it in the fact that if it's not, it's almost 30 years.
Right.
30 years. Okay, so the internet, it has had 30 years. See, people don't look at it. They're not looking at the big picture. They think the internet is just something you pull up on a Google screen, or, and you type in a couple of things that you want to search for, and all of a sudden the information comes up. But for 30 years, web servers have been saving every piece of data, every single piece of data that everybody on the fucking planet has ever typed into a keyboard. So, the AI has now learned the habits, the names, the culture, you name it, it's there. They know it. The other day you sent me that yesterday you sent me that song, and I was like, gee, it was fucking brilliant.
Dude, I'll tell you, it's on my website, that one goddamn.
Yes.
Okay, I've typed into Suno.
I was listening to it.
I don't want to offend musicians. I got to talk to you about this, too. This is perfect for this. I know, because I've done songwriting. I did not like I did it for years. I have a friend of mine down in Delray. She's a songwriter, and she would have her musician friend. I was a roommate, so she'd have her musician friends come over. Tom, what do you think? Let's get in this. And so I saw the process of writing a couple of really great songs. I wish you would produce them. And I've been through the process. I understand the agonizing moment where you go, we're going to come back tomorrow. I can't get the rhyme.
Right,
I can't get it. You come back the next day. And our HI, in that time frame, juggled all the tumblers. And the next day you come back to the side.
So just for shits and giggles, go to YouTube, type in Tommy Shutters, and play his AI song.
You can go to my website. Just go to TommyShutter.com.
Tommy Shutters.
It's right there.
Shutter or Shutters?
It's one.
TommyShutter.com.
Yeah, Tommy
And listen to the song Goddamn. It's going to blow your fucking mind.
Okay, here's the story.
100% artificial intelligence.
And the video behind it is all artificial. I'll tell you the process. You guys should know this.
I sent that to a couple of my friends.
No shit.
Yeah, I sent it to my Eat Crow group of guys, and I sent the link, and I just put, listen, this is my buddy who does not play an instrument, created this song in 10 minutes. I go, it's going to put every fucking one of us out of business. Or what's going to happen
here's what I'm going to say.
This is what I said.
You guys can cover any of the songs that I have on any of those AI songs. There's some damn good ones on there, and if you want to cover them, they will not get flagged by YouTube. Okay?
Yeah, but
and they're damn good.
Here's where I have a problem with this. Okay, is that I don't mind that use the AI for the right purposes.
Right.
Which is honest purposes. So if you need a soundtrack for a movie, I totally understand it. Use the AI, create the soundtrack for the movie.
Unbelievable.
You're gonna create a commercial. Use the AI for the commercial. It's a savings on expenditures in which people don't understand how much money media
used to cost to have that done. Like those, like
if I needed a photographer and I needed a lighting crew and I'm paying union wages and I'm doing all this for actors and makeup artists and all that.
And then you got to pull it together.
Yes.
You have to organize that day, and if it rains, you lost your shoot.
Well,
okay,
that's correct.
Now you're talking about the music business, how this impacts you guys. It puts you out of business. This kind of progress has always been a threat. For example, when I first got my Canon AE1 back in 79,
autofocuses.
No, it didn't have autofocus. It had auto exposure, and you should have seen the ripples through the photographic community.
I know.
And if you were seen with one, well, you're just cheating.
Correct.
You should have your light meter handy, son. Okay. Then came the autofocus, and that was another threat. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Then came digital. Oh my god. I know how to. I was mentored, studio mentored. Darkroom photography, making the proofs for a guy that had a 3,000 foot square studio. So I was in the intern grind of doing black and white proofs, kid shots, swatches, clothing, all that stuff. And so now I have been eliminated also.
Right.
Because I'm over there, actually the guy that's been eliminated, I'm over on Midjourney. I said, give me a smoky room with a guitar player, black guitar player, with a Rickenbacker or whatever I told him. Boom! That first opening on that song, Goddamn, is from the picture. Then you tell Midjourney to animate it. Poof! they'll give you 5 seconds, and then you can extend it. So then I got the bass player, then I could probably add, and then I got that other guy that's kind of dancing around. And none of them are really synchronized. They're
Correct.
just moving.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's moving on the screen. And the color, the AI color.
Yeah, the redhead is gorgeous. Oh my God. I was like, what?
Well, this is what's coming in the future. Okay, my grandson and his buddies, they're going to have sex android camps they're going to be going to in the future.
What I fear, the problem that I fear here is, you already know that I'm a person who says no to fucking tablets on stage. I'm the guy that says no to tracks on stage. I am also going to be the guy that says, do not create an AI song and then tell the world that you fucking wrote it.
Exactly. Well, unless you can do the lyrics.
You can do the lyrics,
and it'll respect your lyrics, or you can amplify it.
Right, but don't come to me and say, listen to this fucking song I wrote, because there are if I was to take groupings, like let's make a number out of this. So I'm gonna say 6 out of every 10 fucking musicians are scam artists.
Really?
Yeah, 6 out of every 10 musicians are scam artists, and that they will use this. It's the same fucking guys. So and I've had guys that say to me, "Yeah, but what about your AI artwork?" When I use AI,
it's marketing,
and it's obvious. I use it, and I don't hide the fact that I'm not recreating me. I'm using it to create, dragons and fucking stars and stained glass
Speaking
windows.
Of which, those flyers I animated for Earls took me all of 5 seconds to drop the thing into Midjourney and hit animate.
Well,
and that is the most amazing thing. This is the thing they talk about in AI is the word novelty. Now, you and I think of the first time we heard novelty was the junk you could buy at the drugstore that had little value. But the word novelty is the ability for us, let's just say we're sitting here, let's make up our own Black Crowes style song. And you say, first line is, God damn, okay? And then we start fleshing it out. We are creating novelty. Something has never been created before. And so in the early days of AI, they said, well, AI can't do novelty. You go to Suno.com and you're going to see novelty the size of the galaxy there.
Oh, yeah.
So AI has now gotten so close to what they call the above average intelligence, whatever that is, has gotten way beyond that. And now people are saying, it's sentient. I don't know, but it's damn close.
It's damn close. I don't think it's so much sentient as it is a
good pattern recognition.
Well, and it's quick. It's quick. People aren't. People have not had fast computing like we have in the telecom industry or something. You know, if you worked in the telecom industry like I did most of my adult life, you always had the highest rates. Of speeds and things like that, in computing power and shit. And the average person does not. Case in point, it is 2025, almost 2026, and they're just turning off dial-up AOL.
Is that? I didn't even know it still existed.
Dude, me neither.
I
was on the news the other day. There are 180,000 people still on dial-up. It's got to be like fucking bumfuck Alaska.
Now, you talked about the internet being around for 30 years. I want to get back to that for a second. When this was all going really fast, so I started off in my 20s at the beginning of it. Now here I am. That's 67. I'll be 67 in September. I have seen this complete range, done the office automation, tried to teach people how to use the internet, use office. Yes, you only need one printer. You don't have to have one printer on every desk.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So I taught networking. Then came the internet, which is the connection of networks. So, and that was is such a revolution. But I used to tell people all the time, even 20 years ago, I said, the personal computer's been around for 20 years. This was, back in those days, I said that. It's like we are without excuse for at least understanding the technology. And I'll tell you something, anybody that's opposed to AI, they probably have the right reasons, but they're also not seeing the benefit.
The problem with people is that they make a judgment based on a gut feeling and not the actual facts. And when you think about certain aspects of life being automated, it does make the world a better place. People are going to bitch about jobs, and people are how it's cutting people's jobs, and how the governments of the world have not given a shit about people and their jobs ever. Never have.
Well, we got sold out in 2000.
We pretend like we do.
Yeah.
Here's case in point is that I'm on Facebook yesterday and I see somebody begging for a job for their 16-year-old because and what was the statement in there was that McDonald's and Burger King have all adults working for them. Yes, they do. And here's the problem with that is McDonald's and Burger King were never supposed to be career.
It was supposed to be entry level.
They were supposed to be, right, entry level. It was the jobs that taught you responsibility as a teenager. It was the very low income, uneducated people were the people that were working there.
I did 2 weeks at McDonald's.
Full time.
After I got out
as
of the
an
Navy.
adult. Yes, but not in your 40s.
I couldn't last not very long. No, hell no.
But the government here has farmed out jobs to other countries in such a harsh fucking way over the last 40 years.
Well, it's all been offshore. This is the problem. A lot of people don't understand, and we can go down two roads. One, that 16-year-old needs to start seeing opportunity for his own hustle.
Right.
He's got to find his own hustle. All young people find a hustle.
Yeah, but do you know why they don't? Because what is the outlook for them? The outlook for them is fucking AI. I'm watching my almost 30-year-old son is struggling hardcore to find a meaningful career so that he can get married and have children.
He wants upward mobility. Yeah.
He wants the things that he should be able to get, and this country is no longer affording that to these kids. It's just not because it's.
Well, you've got to think about it. You've got these big corporations now buying up houses just for Airbnbs.
Yep.
Okay. There's a building. Where is it? Right up the street from here. That used to be just this little rundown house. He's got it converted. I think in 9 or 10 units up there.
Wow.
And they're all, I think, $400 a night.
Well, this was my. I had a conversation with another bar owner last week in regards to a place like Earl's. Okay, Earl's, they've owned that property for 30 years. It's bought and paid for. Right now, all they're doing is paying taxes, right?
Sure. And overhead. So, you got overhead.
Right, well, overhead and taxes, correct. They technically don't need to do shit. They sell that property, somebody will
take
put
the equity on the property.
Yeah, and somebody will put up a fucking condominium or apartment complex there and not have to worry about the ins and the outs of fighting over, proper bookings and who's playing where and and dealing with all that fucking overhead and things are going to change here.
Florida economies are highly dependent upon these dining districts. Have you been down? You've been down through Delray, Arts Garage, that area.
It's all dining. The problem is there's no individualism.
Well, in the 90s in Delray there on Atlantic Avenue, right at the tracks, right across the tracks as you head east was a place called Elwood's on the corner. And they played surf music, secret agent music till 3 a.m. It was hilarious. You go by there. I can remember the streets being rolled up the rest of Delray, and you go inside. I could be standing out. That's probably about 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Standing out there listening to these guys go. And then right down the street, there was another place called the A-Train. They had jazz, blues. They had this band that was really hot down there at the time. Her name was Randy. And she was she's only about 5 feet tall, but she was a powerhouse violin player. So they'd get all this kind of Dave Matthews and big, wild, crazy stuff going on. She'd be dancing on the table. It was really a very cool vibe. So if you lose these tourist areas to development, then all you have is people living on the water.
That's right. There's no income. Where's the income?
Where's the draw? Where's the people coming down there? So I can still remember the fun I had there when I lived down there. So.
Yeah, but we had. I don't know, man. There was different times. There were. When I was growing up, road trips were a big thing.
Yeah.
Because I can remember coming down from New York, and shitty little south of the border there. That was a big fucking attraction. The biggest ball of yarn in the world, big attraction, things were simpler, and there were attractions. There were reasons for people to go places that were
as
unique.
Kids, we'd watch the signs. In Missouri, where I grew up, outside of St. Louis, as you drive south on Highway 44, you'd see these signs. I don't know if they still do it or if they've been banned or whatever, they're gone. But you'd see signs for Merrimack Caverns. And then it was all the way down like banner ads,
right,
down the highway. So yeah, the highway experience. We also lived in New Mexico for a period of time, and we'd come back up to Missouri to visit relatives. And so that road trip was great. I can still remember those road trips.
I loved those road trips.
I smoked probably at 10 years old, probably smoked 3 or 4 packs of cigarettes. Sitting in the back seat, fighting with my brother.
Oh, yeah. No, I loved my dad was a city cop.
Yeah, if we rolled those windows down, oh, my God.
And he'd save his 30 days vacation for 1 full month. He'd take the full month. And the family, we had a RV. We'd get in the RV and we'd just fucking travel. And as for kids, that was great.
Oh, my
as
God,
kids,
that must
was
have
a
been a
great
blast.
experience. You know, but the beauty on that, too, was we didn't have cell phones and computers to occupy us. So my brother and I played, or we looked out the window, or that's when punch buggies came in, or when you were looking for lost pilgrims, you know, the Mayflower
license
trucks.
plate. There's all these license plate games, all kinds of stuff.
fucking,
Yeah.
all this cool shit that you would, you know, maybe it doesn't seem cool to the kids today because they're too busy fucking fighting aliens and
yeah. It's also
stealing cars
it's the
and
bait.
GTA and
Somebody will say, "Hey, listen, make sure that post is good," and I'll go to Facebook and just to check the post, and now I'm digging through stuff, and it's my own fault.
Yeah.
And it's like Gary Vaynerchuk. He's my new hero. He's been around probably for the last X number of years on LinkedIn, in the LinkedIn culture. I never paid attention to him. Never gave a rat's behind. I didn't even know who he was. And so he started creeping into my feeds, Gary Vaynerchuk. And so I now kind of use a phrase with myself to go Gary on myself because he will tell you, "You have no discipline. What do you mean?"
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and so those are that. There are some aspects to social media that are good. I would have never heard about this guy or felt his impressions or whatever. So I'm having to navigate this too. I want to start doing some podcasts and stuff like this. I need somebody to bounce off of though, and so
Yeah, but that's why I do them as interviews.
yeah.
Because I'm the same way. Like, I can talk for hours. I'm an extremely intelligent person, so I can offer multiple sides to any conversation. And it's so when I'm gigging, which is 90% of my fucking time, I don't get to have conversations with people.
That's true.
Especially since, you know, there are groups of people. Bikers hang out with bikers.
Well, it's the
fucking
same with
musicians
shooting.
hang out with musicians. I'm going to
I don't
hang
get to
out
talk
with
to anybody when I'm on. I know what that
Yeah.
feeling is when you guys
You're
are
working.
on. Can we talk about the car payment? No, there's no car payment. There is no car payment.
yeah.
So there's no day-to-day life. Once you're on, you're on. So the entertainment industry has that certain adrenaline associated with it.
Yeah.
Being in commando mode when you're on, and I like it. But you know, you want to, like you say, you want to have those conversations with people. And then people have come up to me, and so I'm happy to share what I've learned along the way.
Well, how do you base your opinions? If you don't speak to multiple people and grab information from all sources, how do you even base your opinion?
Right.
You know, and and internet is the internet, social media, Facebook, fucking not so much Instagram, but Facebook and Twitter. They're designed to trigger you.
Yes.
They're not designed for social interaction.
It's not community building. It's the wrong kind of community.
Yeah, I mean, and it is. And as soon as you actually come to terms with that fact and you understand that that's what it is, then those things don't offend you. You know, when you're dealing with trolls, I laugh them off. I laugh the trolls off.
It's an energy siphon.
Because
it really
at the
is.
end of the day, I'm still in a cycle that is, you know, I am 10 times more of everything than the troll is. So I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, the trolls don't bother me. That doesn't bother me in the
I love it.
It doesn't
Eric,
because I see it for what it is.
I get my my bass player Eric. He gets annoyed with me because I like to poke the bear. I will poke the bear because this is where I say with it. For the 2 seconds that I'm poking the bear on Facebook, that idiot is now stuck. I am stuck in that idiot's mind the whole fucking day.
There's a lot of psychology going on. But the funny thing is there used to be a culture on Facebook where people almost seemed like they were afraid to speak. Now nobody cares. It's become, I don't know if any of you have gone to Twitter. Twitter is a free-for-all. Nobody cares what you have to say.
This is why.
Yeah.
So MySpace was a free-for-all. You could say whatever the fuck you wanted at any given fucking time, or blah, blah, blah. And I remember the transition from MySpace to Facebook. When people were jumping ship and they were leaving MySpace, and all of a sudden MySpace was this ghost town because Facebook was more regulated at the time.
They were trying to do this clean community standard stuff.
And how quickly that fucking went south.
Think about it. If you try to apply some kind of a use case to profanity.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you guys said we have free speech. Well, you can't say this profanity.
Right.
Okay, you can't say the F word. And YouTube did the same kind of censorship.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. I was doing YouTubes for a while, and somebody says, yeah, but dude, they're actually transcribing while you talk. Okay? And they will flag you while you are talking. And
but you want to now you want to see, here's the fucked up part about all that, right? Is CNN. I was watching clips from CNN because I don't watch CNN, but I want all viewpoints.
Sure.
I'm watching this clip on fucking CNN, and the newscaster says the word shit while he's talking about
the gloves are coming off on bullshit and on shit.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're seeing that the podcasts that have free speech
are doing better than their own broadcasts.
You have a Joe Rogan where a guy can smoke a joint and have a conversation and say whatever the fuck he wants.
Pure entertainment.
That's freedom of speech.
And that you're right. And he dropped down. Besides him, the one that now I think beat him was Mel Robbins. Have you heard her?
I have not. No.
She's great. She's got a huge, a lot of insight, a lot of pop psychology, but it's just simple nuts and bolts stuff that anybody can go, hey, yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
And she wound up to the top, and she's got some real common sense stuff. Somebody passed me sometime, and I listened to her for a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is a great podcast. Okay, and so she supplanted Joe Rogan now. So, but to me, it's not about gaining a market. I was never into gaining market share with podcasting.
Right.
But understanding it, if somebody wants to get a podcast going, I can take you from A to Z. I have my own podcast management system that I can put on a website. And you can manage your own podcast from your own and hold your own. And YouTube, this is a whole other topic too, by the way. This podcast thing went from, we did that in 2000 and nobody cared.
Correct.
Okay, I learned how to wire up all that stuff. It took a couple of months to get somebody's podcast set up.
The trial and error was I loved it. So when 10 years ago when I first moved here.
But now I had AI build a podcast management system where you log into the back end. It's got a drag and drop. You upload the podcast audio. It synchronizes the list and makes it available immediately to Apple. So as soon as you're done uploading it, it goes up to Apple. And then you can also feed it. YouTube has a new, you'll see it says podcasts. And you're like, what is this? Well, they just started doing it a couple months ago. You click on podcasts and it says add by feed. Tom's podcast manager has a thing for them to look for. I tell them to come to my podcast manager. I've got it on 10, 15 sites now.
And it loads everything.
And it pulls that feed from that server up to Apple. YouTube goes and gets the same feed and pushes it out to YouTube. Now you'll see on my channel, you'll see podcasts, and they're this big square box. No video. They're literally pulling my audios through their front end, and if I take my audios down, they come down from YouTube immediately. You don't have to upload and monkey around. Wow. And another secret. Here's your secret for today. If you have an MP3 editor, and it's got a comment section, and it's usually got garbage in there of somebody's website or some kind of thing. Apple and YouTube both read that, and it's usually in an MP3 editor. It's a little tiny box you can barely get anything into. You can put an Encyclopedia Britannica inside that comment field.
Yeah.
That's what Apple is reading.
Yeah,
when you go to Apple,
but here's the thing,
you will see your description, your content.
The only people that are going to use that are the younger, and I'm not
necessarily.
I'm not disparaging.
No, I'll tell you why.
I'm saying that
it's reach.
But musician people don't fucking get. If we tailored it to musician people, right? It's like I said, musician people are fucking lazy. You can go on Facebook in your.
That's a different universe. I get that.
So you're dealing with, in my world, I'm dealing with people that want literally the easiest way to make a fucking $100. That's what the treasure. That's what the Florida tourism music situation is kind of set up like.
Yeah.
It's not, it's there to sell beer and food. It's not there to actually entertain.
Right. But I think I sense in our discussions that you and I have had, as you start to graduate up from the smaller to the next level, we're all looking for a bigger play.
Yeah, but let me explain something. Play. This is where my frustrations in what you and I do come into play, okay? Is on my phone, I've got I have apps on my phone that I can literally do anything that I want to do on a computer
Right.
on my phone.
Sure.
So I'm at a gig and I'm going to record the whole thing, right? I'm using Prism because for some fucking reason Facebook won't let me use
You gotta
horizontal
go direct.
video.
You got to go direct. Yeah.
So I have to use Prism in order to be able to get a horizontal video. But the compression on it is at such a position that I can. It's so low, right? That it's stored in my phone.
Right.
It's an hour-long video.
Right.
I want immediate release stuff. I can edit it right there. It takes it takes me
Boom,
literally
boom,
a minute to edit a fucking hour-long video into song sections. Upload
It's
it to
amazing.
Facebook.
And see, this is probably AI again.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure it's in the phone.
Well, and even if you don't have that, you can go to Opus Clips.
That's correct.
Feed a YouTube URL in there.
These
I'll tell
fucking
you,
people don't understand. What they'll
It's
say
amazing.
is, you'll get guys that will call you up and be like, "Can you help me get this background out?" I'm like, "Dude, there's a fucking app on your. You could download it and take the background out of a photo in 2 seconds."
This is okay.
Why does your poster look like a piece of shit?
Let me rewind my revelation with AI.
Yeah.
Now, as a writer in the writing community, if I was going to submit anything to industry, putting the fact that it even touched AI a couple years ago was a death sentence. Okay,
correct.
They can't get around it now.
Right.
But what it did for me was I waited until a year ago, literally a year ago, before I started even getting into AI. I was that scared of it because I was afraid of tainting my work. But I looked at my work and what I was trying to accomplish. Everything I accomplished as far as presentations, the pitch documents, the illustrations was all garbage, and I could never get happy with it. It just never was right. It just was just it ain't go. I said, my brother, we hadn't talked for a few months. He says, you got to see Claude. All right. I took all the scraps from this thing that I've been. It's just a hobby, you know. I'm throwing all this stuff in there. And Claude comes back with a story Bible, a pitch documents, the IP value. The IP value on what I have been working on for the past 10 years, off and on, the IP value is through the roof. And I said, is this for real? Because the value is insane. If I sell it, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's big league. And I'm like, okay. It was on a major, and plus, even if it hadn't even told me that, if all it had done is organized in the film business, when you go to IMDb and you look up a movie, and it's a movie you know, and the description is pretty lame. Man walks on moon.
Right.
Okay. This thing is called a log line, and most non-movie people don't understand. But what it is it's a deductive reasoning, and it came about because when people get together to tell stories, Warren, I got this movie idea. What is it? And we spent 3 hours getting to. This guy lost his dog. He goes on a journey to find the dog, meets the woman of his dreams. They get married and live happily ever after. That's the log line, the essence of the movie. Okay, instead of 3 hours of this guy's name is Frank and going into all this stuff, the log line is the distillation of the component. Right. It's almost the like when they have to walk on rice paper. Mm-hmm. Okay, the ninjas. Okay, and not tear a piece. Getting that log line is an acid reduction of the idea. So for me, it was a mind blower. The executive summary, the pitch doc, all this stuff coming together. And all of a sudden now, all these gatekeepers in the industry, I'm signed up for a few of them. They're still pitching classes on how to get this information.
Well, I'll tell you, I wish that Hollywood would start using AI to write some fucking scripts because I can't deal with all the retreading
Well, they already are.
bullshit.
And this is the great, but see, this is the big minefield right now. We're going from that, how dare you use AI to create a script, to, I don't know if we like this or not. Yes, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Well,
this is where it's going.
But that's because there are people like us that will use it for... We experiment with it, so we're creating all these things. Are experimenting. Like, how can I utilize this for me without it?
Well, how do you visualize a big idea? You have tried to visualize some ideas with the Eat Crows promotions, and you can now do it. It's just amazing glory. Okay, trying to visualize to that level before, at best, you would have had a flyer you had to pay somebody to make, and it probably would have been and you just said, okay, we got to get this out the door.
Right.
Now you can go into Midjourney and you can create everything you need, or any of these other sites. It's like 20, probably 1,000 other sites now, creating anything you need. And so any band, let's wrap it into the music biz, any band that needs promotions, There are free tiers you can get on. There are free tiers, and what I usually do is, and what a lot of them do. There's one site I go to. It's called Artistly, Artistly.ai. $49 forever. You're done, and you can sit there and spit out logos, promos, stuff all day long. Okay, unbelievable.
Yeah. There's a few sites that make things really easy for bands to use themselves. There's another one it's called Placeit, Placeit.com, and what Placeit.com does is it offers, say I have a T-shirt design, but I don't have any actual video of somebody wearing the T-shirt.
Oh, right.
You upload your thing and it gives you a realistic AI video of hot chick wearing your shirt, and it looks real.
And I've taken some from you, and I dropped them in Midjourney, and poof.
And those things, see, now you're dealing with that in advertising. Now, for me, that advertisement would have cost $50,000 to create,
minimum,
without even thinking twice.
And
now
if it had rained, you've been rained out.
You know how? It cost me literally my $20 a month fee for my AI thing.
And it's getting better.
Yeah.
I remember when you and I first started talking about AI, you were one of the first people using the AI for advertising that I remember. And
actually, I just saw the first. It's been a year.
Okay.
And I just saw the first post I wrote was, "This is my first AI image. It is going to change the way that I promote for the better." And it has.
Yeah.
I can't, whether it's a negative or a positive, if somebody looks at it and it gets negative because it's AI, or there's people that are like, holy shit, how did you do that?
Right.
It's drawing attention, which is what any artist wants.
It's a flashy thing. It's a flashy thing.
That's why they say bad publicity is good publicity, because you remember the name. You go to the website. You check it out online. You look for, So the idea here is to utilize all these platforms to better your brand, because
with less effort.
That's right.
With less effort.
Doesn't matter if you were a venue or a musician or a filmmaker or a pizza
kind of a
place.
Creative. Doesn't matter.
You could just be a pizza place.
Yes.
The affordability of advertising has never been better than it is right now.
The bang for your buck. And it's all about communicating ideas.
Right.
If you can communicate the idea much better with AI, like I think I turned you onto that reggae channel that has the reggae vibes.
Yes.
That's got nothing but AI.
But I can only listen to it for like 3 songs, and then I'm like, fuck me.
It's, you know what? It's the kind of stuff, if you have a tiki bar, put it up on your monitors.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious, and it's all AI. You know, these guys are burning up some joules on building these videos, but they're hilarious.
Well, we all, we resist the musicians like to resist change. Period. I can remember when we were switching over from analog recording into digital recording. Everybody and his brother was against analog recording, and now you can barely even find an analog recording.
Now it's a museum piece. It's all
Everything
museum
is fucking digital.
Yep.
And it's gotten so overabundant that you can do it and easy. You could do it at home. You could send it to your buddy online. You could, it's become.
You can do. I mean, it's an amplifier. If you could just see it as an amplifier, that as much as you need an amp on stage, that was the whole reason Les Paul created electric guitars. He said nobody could hear me.
Correct.
And I watched a clip on him the other day talking about how he put together a railroad tie to figure it out. Okay, and everybody's like, a railroad tie? Well, anyway, it was part of the story, and he went through the figuring it out. And now you have amplifiers and loud music. Okay, it's no longer just a mariachi band standing by your table. You can reach the whole bar. So,
but what if AI is allowed to be used to create music that is put on a radio or put in a streaming platform or put in a place of popularity? What is where does the drive go for a child to learn an instrument?
Well, then you have to say, okay, is it always about the money? No. So if you want to pursue art, pursue your art. But realize that we live on a planet that doesn't seem to really reward artists.
That's right.
Okay?
Well, see,
you got to come to that realization.
That is the biggest realization
Yeah.
that any musician needs
So should
to
you
come.
deny your art? Should you stop songwriting?
Where
Should you
am I
stop
going to
playing?
go?
No.
Am I going to do my
You write
art and be
everything.
fucking poor? Or am I going to
Comes
work
with,
the commercial
on
way and
this
make
planet-
a business out of
on
it?
this planet? Yeah, or you figure out, okay, so I think what's coming in the future, because you were amazed by that, so I got another one I'm going to give you too that is I think I may have sent it to you by being the Black Crowes kind of one. It was similar.
Mm-hmm.
You could play it. Again, anybody wants to take these songs that I've done on Suno, if you want to cover them, bring them to life, and you know what? Go for it.
I think they're making it impossible. What they have to do is they have to create a situation in which AI music is uncopyrightable.
It already is.
No, that's not true.
Well, I know there's people making money.
If you take this,
Yeah.
and you take a U.S. copyright form,
Right.
you fill it out, you put that, burn it onto a MP3, put it
I
on a
hear you.
CD, send
Right.
it in. They will copyright it for you because they're not as advanced.
I don't know if has that been resolved?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's been resolved.
I don't think it's been
Anyway,
resolved
my
because they
point
keep
being-
drawing attention
My
to
point
when it's
being
done.
is, what I think people are going to look for in the future is authenticity.
Yeah.
Is that AI? No, I wrote this. I
Yeah.
literally wrote this. In
Yeah,
fact,
but
I had
prove
the
it.
camera rolling
Prove
while
it.
I was writing
That's the problem.
Okay?
Prove it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
It's
true.
going to be the prove
Yeah,
it, you know.
yeah.
So I was telling my story.
But if you can't play, though, it doesn't matter if AI wrote it or not. If you can't play on stage, you're...
Well, that's true. But
Okay.
but see here, this is where accomplishments in your life now become useless. So for 25 years of my life, for the last 25 years of my life, I have had a framed picture of my band's name on the Madison Square Garden marquee the night that we played it in a frame, okay?
Okay.
And it's, for me, that is my, I can die tomorrow and I can die happy knowing I made it and I played Madison Square Garden. The problem is that picture is now worthless because anybody on the face of the planet can go into fucking AI and
have
type
their own
in,
done.
create me an authentic looking
Right.
photograph of my logo on the Madison Square Garden marquee. Now there's no way to fucking prove it.
But see,
you know, unless-
what you're exposing is the fact that is all this stuff's being devalued.
Well, yeah, because there's a Harvey fucking Weinstein in every goddamn industry. And in the music industry, the higher ups, the people that have the money, they're all fucking criminal. Every one of them are criminal. Every one of them is ripping off every fucking artist on the planet. And so they're going to find the ways that they can own it all. So what they're going to do is they're going to lay off the artists and they're going to say, okay, here's this producer, CNC Music Factory fucking people, okay? Two producers
Right.
that wrote fucking and recorded everything. They're going to say, listen, you clearly know how to write hit songs. Sit
Right.
with this AI thing for 8 hours and pump me out 900 fucking songs.
Right.
They're going to have
Well,
900 songs.
look at commercial radio has already gone that route for the past 20 years when
Jack
iHeart bought up
FM.
everything. I mean, it's the same stuff.
Yep.
The top 50 or 100, just day after day. And really, the only time I can think of even listening to the radio might be on the road to Melbourne or the road to somewhere.
Yeah, I never
I'm not
listen.
listening to
I
radio at
listen-
home.
me neither.
It's either one of...
Only time I
yeah.
ever listen to the radio, and here's the thing, I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts, or I listen to the comedy channel, or I listen to the news, because I'm not going to watch the news at home.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read a newspaper. You know, there are things
All those
that I'm not
channels
going to
have
do.
failed everybody. All that old
They've all-
paradigm has failed everybody.
Correct.
So they're all dying on the vine. People see it and they'll see this or that, and they don't really know whether to trust it or not.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, what do you? Because my as people call it, my lived experience has shown me something else. So that's what they're up against.
Well, the problem with all of our medias, right, when it comes to times for musicians to be able to promote themselves. In the past, the musicians have been being ripped off for fucking ever. I did a 5-camera video shoot that cost me $10,000, right?
Right.
Now, I can do it now for $300 or less.
Or less. Yeah.
I have had, I've gone and done photo shoots, again, like we were discussing before, where I had to pay for the makeup artist, I had to pay for the stylist, had to pay for the lighting guy, had to pay for
friend
the
of mine in
fucking
Miami is a makeup
studio,
artist.
had to pay for the photographer, had to pay for the film, had to pay... All that, now that's non-existent. technically what I can do now is I could take face shots of all the guys in my band, put them together, upload them, and say, create me a fucking great looking rock and roll picture of these 4 fucking guys, and it looks like us.
And I do want to take credit for something.
But I won't,
In that you and I have probably influenced Treasure Coast marketing in a lot of ways. I think that we and I have both.
There are a lot of people that will hate to admit that's true, but I have been so belligerent for 10 fucking years about quality that it has changed a lot. When I see posters now, I'm like, you didn't do this until I started bitching to you. Until you started seeing me with 12,000, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't pay for my followers. They came to me.
Right.
They're real fucking followers.
So there's value there, right.
Yeah, there is value there. There's a lot of value there.
Right.
I have probably sold close to 1,000 fucking shirts online just using my, and here's the thing, I promote it like once a month.
Right. You're out there. See, that's the thing, is getting back to musicians with the I just want to do my music. You have to do something to get yourself out there. Otherwise, you're just another something floating in the stream.
Right.
Nobody's going to see. You're going to have to put a flag on top of that turtle.
What makes you
as it floating down the stream
different from the band playing at the other tiki bar on the block?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so the bar is not original. They're not original from one another. Neither is the music. Neither is the menu. Neither is so somebody in there has to be unique. Otherwise, the business market is stagnant. So if I am a guy, I'm just gonna use this fucking term for you. If you're this example, if you're one of those bands that plays Tom Petty, right? Every fucking band up and we're in Sebastian right now.
Yeah.
You got the Tiki Hut, you got Earl's, you got Captain Hiram's, and you got Squid Lips.
Well, Paradelia.
First of all 4 of those fucking venues
ones,
have the same exact bands playing at all 4 of the venues.
Yeah.
All 4 of those, all the bands at all 4 of those venues are playing the exact same songs. All 4 of the venues serve food. All 4 of the venues have alcohol. All 4 of the venues. Where is the
differentiation? And this is something I've suggested to people just in casual conversation, is a lot of these places need to, when I lived in Nashville,
but
you had some
the
differences.
part I'm driving at here is that the failure in that marketing scheme is not being unique to bring people to you specifically because you're you.
Right.
So, now
you mean the venue itself.
Venue itself.
Right.
So none of the venues are unique enough to draw a fan base that says, I only go to this venue. There's a few.
Right.
There's every bar has a couple of regulars.
Yeah.
But none of them have this fan base that says, I'm only going to this place because this place always has the most unique, best music. And the reason why they don't do that is because they don't have the most unique music, and they don't have the most unique atmosphere. So everyone's got a wood bench. Everybody has got a fucking an umbrella.
Right. So you're hoping for those tourist dollars to come rolling into town. The folks come in and get food, and
I want them to seek a venue out.
The problem is, I think what I was telling you earlier is, I think really this area, it doesn't have like what is it over there in Port Charlotte? I told you about it. It has that event center.
Yeah.
There are places like that not here.
Right.
Okay. And
when I play OCC, there's always fucking a couple of hundred people.
Yeah.
Under a packed under a stage,
a giant
hangar bay.
Yeah.
The same with the Twisted Tiki, Twisted Fork. The Twisted Fork will do a couple of thousand people on a Friday and Saturday night because it's Port Charlotte.
Right.
It's in an area where
that whole area, from what
they don't have anything.
Yeah, right.
So my whole thing with this is that you and I, Tom and I, talk a lot. We do. We pass a lot of messages back and forth about ideas for amphitheaters and ideas for bigger venues or music-centric venues. And that is something that we don't have here. There are a couple of places like Coco has their band shell area, and somebody else There's somebody's building one in, I think, Port St. Lucie. Someone else is building one in some other town. The problem is that they allow the municipalities to run them.
Well, here's the thing.
So it's the same garbage as at the same shitty,
a couple of months ago,
800 tiki bars.
Okay, so check this out. We may as well talk about this because a couple months ago we broached it. I said, okay, let's just find out. So I got into, I think it was Claude at the time or Gemini, one of the two, and I said, okay, we tossed the idea around. It created me complete reports. One thing a lot of people do not realize about Sebastian.
You sent that to me.
Yes. Okay, one thing people assume
perspectives, which is hang tight. What he's going to tell you right now is how he used artificial intelligence to get all of the marketing understanding material for a demographic.
The stuff I would have to go to a real estate agent, planning commission, and dig through archives and all that other stuff.
A place like Buc-ee's, who wants to come in, who's coming into Port St. Lucie, would have had to pay millions of dollars to somebody to.
They even gave us an outline. Correct. So check this out. I created a website that I have this on. It's Music Fan Pro. It doesn't work, but you can go see what I put together. It's all AI generated. I gave AI the idea, and it even talks about different. There's some fake events there that don't even have pictures, but you can look at it. But the idea was this. Let me preface this first. I wanted to get to this.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the misconception that Vero Beach has a higher population. It does not.
It does not.
It is a higher business district, and that's where the big strip is. And you got your Walmart and Sam's, but Sebastian is the biggest growing area between Melbourne and Vero. This is the hot growing area. Except
that 33% of its population is above 65 years old.
Right.
Which
hurts. There's a younger
They're
flight.
Moving, yes.
They're coming up from South Florida because it's inexpensive. So you've got a huge influx of people. I think the aging thing is going to go by the wayside. I think it's going to become.
It's the same reason why you don't see any Beatles bands out there, and you don't see, so generationally.
Right.
But you're going to have a younger lifespan before it changes.
Well, this way anyway. The point being is, this area could use a large, big venue thing. Okay, and what they did, I think, what they do with that Port Charlotte event center is basically you rent the thing out. Now I know there's one up in Vieira. There's that when you go up by the veterans, there's a stadium there. You see the little baseball thing going on there. They'll rent that out to you for $5,000 a day.
Yeah, but see, that's
up there. That's not down
here's
here.
Where you run into that situation, and it's the big picture of it's a big picture of the scene when you get into the economics of the scene. Okay, is that so? Because. They hate when I bring it up because it sounds like I'm fucking just picking on the businesses, and it's not. It's an observation from a marketing standpoint of where your businesses are failing and how to fix them. When you're dealing in a place that is let's just say, for sake of argument, there were 4 fucking mini golf courses on this strip right now. None of them would be more popular than the other one because they're not offering anything any different than. Except that this one's pirate and this one's a farm town and this one's
it's a race to the bottom.
The same fucking shit. 3 of them are going to go out of business at some point because it never gets updated, never changes, never evolves, never moves on. That's why bowling became a pastime instead of something that went fucking. I used to love bowling. Now, when was the last time I went fucking bowling?
You got to change the opportunity.
You have to create reasons for people to come out and reasons for people to go to want to be in an atmosphere and a place that lifts their spirits. You think about. I don't even know where the fuck I was going.
I tell you what though. I think part of it too is, and that's awesome. Yeah, this is good. I think part of it is engagement.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day. I just want to get this thing out there. And I said, it's no longer a monolithic wall. Everybody has put up with this monolithic wall from Facebook, Google, and all these giants.
Yeah.
People are sick of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
When you come off the stage or when you're talking from the stage, I notice this about what you're doing. You're literally engaging with these people here.
Yeah.
Not singing out to the mic.
That's correct.
And
staring at the lyrics on a tablet.
And looking at the tablet and everywhere else but out here.
Yeah.
When you connect and you engage, same thing with me. Now I'm engaging with the community. I'm scared shitless, but I have to engage. Okay, it's just I know I need to.
Yeah.
And so I need.
But I'm a narcissist.
Well, but no, wait. You know what I think it is, and I was going to tell you this earlier. years ago, remember you'd see a lot of new agey stuff, people saying, well, I'm an empath. I'm an empath. I'm an empath.
Yeah.
And now everybody's a narcissist. So now what we have is...
We're creating narcissists.
No, it's bigger. So. It's bigger. It's a combo. We are now creating a generation of empathic narcissists.
Oh,
I'm a narcissist again.
And they're all vegan.
And vegan. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm glad they're on those. I'm glad they're on those treadmills. So.
No, but I think there is an aspect to all the AI, to all of it, that is going to force. This is going to sound like a retarded statement. There's going to force some honesty into a lot of businesses,
right?
Because what's going to happen is the businesses are going to have to sit back and reevaluate themselves and say whether or not their business model is effective, and why are my competitors doing better than me,
or how could any of them do better? See, here's another thing about AI. The thing about AI is it takes what could just be an idea and will help you visualize it faster. It can also evaluate your business. You can plug the numbers in, and you can see what got better. For example, you can even get stupid AI from Facebook.
Right.
You can look at your insights and look at how well did that do. By the way, those little animated videos I did of the flyers didn't do any better than a regular flyer.
That's right.
And once in a while, it's a little sprinkle in the system to kind of like, oh, that was cool. But as a means, I don't see it as now a thing because I looked at the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. When I saw the numbers for podcasts, which you're saying, what does it matter? For anybody that wants to promote, you can podcast your own tunes.
Yeah,
okay?
but my issue with the way these things are counted.
It's reach.
Yeah, but is it?
Yeah.
So
it is.
So here's the thing.
I mean, we have to have some numbers.
You're dealing with a Facebook, right? Facebook counts a video view as a 3-second view. That is not a video view. So there is no accurate. They are selling ad space inaccurately by projecting a false understanding of the reach that you will have by spending your money in their advertising platform. And so what has happened now is that all these other fucking companies have seen that.
Right.
They've seen how much money Facebook can generate by never offering you a guarantee. There's no fucking guarantee.
Right.
And that's a problem because they absolutely can. They can give you a guarantee. But they don't want to give you a guarantee because they don't want to actually give you the ability to break out of their forced algorithm, which is collecting all the information and being sold to other people.
It's just churn.
It's money on money. It's like taxing on taxes, on taxes, on taxes, on taxes.
But there is an insidiously good thing about Facebook, and because I've gone through some in-depth digging and learning and some awful but very well done seminars, the reach you can have with Facebook. And I'll say this to any artist, if you are not using Facebook to do your promo,
oh, you're an idiot.
You are literally an idiot if you say, well, I don't need Facebook. Well, do it for the ad benefit because, for example, if you're a music artist and you want to reach people with your tracks, you got it all sewed up, got the CD cover done, everything's ready to rock, Facebook. Yeah. You want to do your what do you call it?
Do you know, I'm going to be honest with you. When I find out that a business is not using Facebook properly, okay, there's a way to use it and a wrong way to use it, and there's a lot of, they have a page, but they're not fucking utilizing it. Right. When I see a business not using a Facebook, it's like the same thing of going to visit my grandparents who don't have a VCR, who still have a VCR, who are watching on a fucking 36-inch TV that weighs 900 pounds, and you know.
It's just not really, okay, and sometimes it's just plain ignorance, because maybe they stay away from it for the right reasons, and don't realize. And the problem is you have to kind of go from being...
you can't be self-aware. You have to be. See, that's the other issue is you can't hide in your office, and not see what's going on with your business, and
it forces
evolve.
you to engage.
Yes,
because people are going to comment, you know, and they're going to give feedback. And so if you don't engage, then people feel again they're back to that wall they've always hated. That wall of nobody talking back. When I said, "Hey, how you guys doing?" We're Facebook. We don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care. You guys took away my page and I can't get to it. Doesn't matter. Build another one. But
exactly.
I had 20,000 followers.
You'll get them again.
Sorry, dude. You'll
It's
get them
okay.
back.
Start over.
So,
that happened to me.
So that I think has kind of burned a nerve with people. And so if you're a local business, and I'm one to talk because I don't have one.
Yeah.
But I would think from a customer's standpoint, you always feel better when you go into a place and they go, "Hey, Tom, what are you doing, man?" And they know you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of thing that builds.
100%.
That's what builds. And you have to. I think if you're just putting out flyers for your gig, at first it's going to start off with mom and your brother and sister and your buddy from high school, and you're going to have to find a way to reach out. Well, Facebook will do that.
Yeah.
We play this kind of music, and I tell you something. I've been doing videos now for the last 10 years, 15, whatever, since about 15 years. You need the clips. You just got to have the clips. Get your wife, your brother, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever.
That's another thing I've been saying for 10 fucking years.
Every band, if you're a four-piece, you got 4 cameras.
Right.
Get clamps, clamp that stuff up, and just hit record. Get it to a geek like me who will cut it down, or stick it into the internet and stick it into AI, and it will do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Or there are so many inexpensive ways
to capture your band.
To capture your band. I need to work with somebody soon on creating so I have a boom stand mic stand, right? That I got my microphone on.
Right.
I need to figure out a way to create an extension off of it that shoots out so that a camera can be put
like a 360?
Well, that would be really fucking cool.
Well, you can get those 360s with the stick.
Yeah, but I don't want to create a contraption. I want something that's going to be solid.
Oh, right,
that's also not going to be obtrusive to an audience.
Oh, yeah.
So now, if we were able to create a system, right, where you got 3 guys up front, right? I'm going to use my band as an example. 3 guys up front and 1 guy in the back. The 3 guys up front all have mic stands, all use boom stands. If I could create a marketable contraption that clamped onto it, but pushed out towards the audience, right? Not enough for them to touch, not enough for it to be a problem. It's actually angled up, right? And then you put a small camera, anything, a GoPro,
so you just need a camera mount
your
for
own
your
phone,
music
fucking
stand.
whatever.
What you're really talking about is just some kind of a mount.
But that has to be. You need it to go out at least 4 feet so that it captures.
Oh, I see what
your
you're saying.
full, thing.
Yeah.
Because then you put one on each of the band members,
right?
At the end of the night, you hand in the fucking the floppy cards, whatever they're fucking.
Now you don't even have to do that.
No,
you just send them.
Send them.
You
Yes,
don't even
you
have
could
to use
send
the memory
them,
sticks anymore.
and then you can upload them into a fucking multicam software that will.
And see, I've been using Final Cut Pro. A lot of the old videos you see on Earl's, where there's all different camera angles. Number one, the close shots of the band on the stage. That was an iPhone SE. Okay.
Right.
The amazing sound you can get from one phone. So
and not only that, right? But the cost effective. So
you can buy those phones now.
Every video that you guys see me put up, including this one, is my phone.
Yeah.
It's a Samsung it's the latest, the S25, right? So the thing is, you got to get the best, right? But I can go and buy 3 of last year's model of this phone, or even the model before it, the S23, which is still advanced.
Well, it's still
so
a good phone.
advanced.
I know a guy that has 2 of those, and he's got a 20. I don't know. This guy's got like
$300 off of fucking Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or go to GameStop and get a used one.
The Galaxy also, as a photographer, the Galaxy has one mode that is difficult to get on an iPhone. I found an app that does it, but it's the widescreen mode.
You're right.
It's not by default available on an iPhone. I had to get another app to get that mode. Another thing people can get better videos with, if you have an iPhone, use the portrait mode.
Right.
The portrait mode. You've seen the shots I've got. It looks like the same stuff you see those 2 guys.
Yeah, but that has to be action moving shots. You can't do live. You can't capture a whole band in a portrait shot.
No. I'm talking about the close-up shots.
Right,
when you guys are playing.
Right.
Oh, I do widescreen. Oh, yes, I do. I do wide portraits. Yeah, and they're great because what that gives you is this word bokeh, bokeh. Okay, they call it bokeh, is what most people say. And that bokeh is that point at which the face is in focus and the stuff behind is out of focus. People love that. It's just a nice effect. Well, the portrait mode gives you that. And if you film with the cinematic mode in the video on an iPhone, it's doing the same thing, only as video. It's cinema. The problem is it wasn't very popular because the cinematic mode used to be kind of clunky. You had one or the other. You couldn't zoom. There's a lot. They've really amped it up now in the later versions.
Yeah, but the beauty on that too is that with those phones, the smart, somebody that wants the best quality. Like when I say there's quick, which is great.
Well, then you're going to get a red.
Go into the fucking settings.
Yes.
Learn what the
Yes.
ISO does. Learn
Right.
what the shutter speed does. So that when you're in that fucking lighting situation, so you're a band, you're shooting a band, it's a low light, highlight situation.
So you need good camera that can get low light, and these phones are now doing
fucking
wonderful
great.
now.
No,
You
not
don't-
only that is that
I
if
had
you,
lights. I've made camera mounts out of the light stands, chopped them up, and given them away
if
because
you
I don't need
want,
lights anymore.
If you don't want to save the video on the phone, or like my phone will only do 30-minute videos at a time. It won't do full.
Oh, okay.
Because
Well,
so what you do is you could stream in 4K to fucking YouTube.
and let them be
And
the host
24
for it.
hours, download the video, which is compressed, but still in 4 fucking K.
Right. Yeah.
And now you can edit it. So now what you do is you take that widescreen video that is in 4 fucking K of
You
your
can chop
band.
it up. Now you can chop it up. Yeah,
you could
absolutely.
do close-ups. You
Absolutely.
could do so
Yep.
now you can make it look like a multicam. All it takes is time. That's it.
And now the time's being reduced by our little friends at AI.
Yeah.
So, and there are so many tools available. If you've been scared of getting into any of them, they all have a free tier.
Every one of
Every
them.
one of them has a free tier.
And they're designed to suck you in. Don't get sucked in on the first one.
right.
Pay for the first one for a month.
Yeah.
Get out of it and try the next
And
one.
try
for a
another
month.
one, exactly.
Because they're all different. There
And
are
what you
certain
have to look
ones
for is a
that
kind
are
of a
better
workflow. You're looking at a
certain
workflow.
things.
What works for you? I use Artistly for some things, and then I love Midjourney for other things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you.
And
are
it evolves.
It evolves. Yeah.
So when a year ago, when I would put in prompts to make real people, I never knew how many fingers were going to show up.
Exactly.
That hasn't happened
It's
to
all
me
gone
in
now.
now
It's gone now.
6 or 7 months.
And what they call character consistency. So we could create a Warren, and you could carry him through different scenes.
Oh, so now the one I use, which is ideogram, right?
Yeah.
They just every so many months they put out the new version, and you can access it for free. I pay for the $20 a month because it gives you fast generation.
Right.
If you do the free one, you get put
Same
in a
thing
slow
with
queue,
Midjourney.
and it
Same
takes
thing with
fucking
Midjourney. And Midjourney
time.
dumps you out completely because that's all we do is fast.
Now it has a character mode, so
Oh, really?
I can
Yeah.
the logo that you made for Stella's Basement.
Right.
Okay, so I uploaded that into my my AI,
Right.
and I have it saved as a character. So now, when I want to create advertisements for him, like I put it on stenciled onto a leather jacket.
Yes. Is
And
that on Printful?
That was he took the designs and put them on Printful.
Now,
so
by the way,
But-
in
but-
the web world,
Yeah.
we're making, my brother and I are working on a Printful manager for your own site.
So
You can pull
this
all
is
that-
another
Yeah.
subject that is extremely important.
Yeah.
That I want people to understand because I get asked it all the time.
Oh, okay.
How am I able to do the T-shirts like I'm doing them without? So my website is built through Bandzoogle, okay, and that is an easy formed template-based fucking website, okay. I want ease of use, and I don't want to spend fucking 19 hours building a goddamn website.
Correct.
So I built mine, I refined it, I created it, and they offer some certain things like if you have a song and you put it on there, it'll automatically put it onto iTunes and blah blah blah
So you
for
got the
you.
pipeline
And
for you, yeah.
so
Right.
they have all these things created for musicians, and they have an EPK builder, they have all this other shit, but they were connected with Printful, and it made it easy because it integrated the shop right onto the website.
And that's what I'm working
What
on.
Printful does
Yeah.
is they have enormous print houses, and there are 5 of them in the United States. There's 2 of them in Mexico, one of them in Europe. Mexico and Europe are hard to deal with now because of the tariff situation and the shipping. But the 5 in the United States, this shirt.
That's
This
great.
is from one of them.
Yeah.
So I create the design in AI.
Right.
I get rid of the background.
Right. Just drop it
I
out.
upload it into fucking Printful,
And you're done.
And within 5 minutes, I have a profitable fucking T-shirt. This T-shirt has sold 300 fucking copies.
That's awesome, my friend.
And it took me 5 minutes to create.
See, that's the thing is if
and
you
I
don't
didn't have
dabble,
I don't have to have
Yeah.
200 shirts at my house.
no inventory.
And so you set your own profit margin. So if you want to sell them cheaply, you set it at a cheap price. If you want to make 50%, you want to make 100% on your markup, 100% markup, which is what everybody else in the world does.
Right.
You might as well fucking make your money.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, see, you're working with Printful. I'm also working on Snipcart. And Snipcart is for people that do have inventory, like these folks here and some of the other places. They actually have stuff to sell.
Correct.
And so, yeah, and by the way, all this has kind of swamped me. I have never had so much to get done because of all the new opportunities. It's like just a deluge.
Well, see, here, this is the issue. You send me shit. Like, you will send me links, and it'll be weeks before I can actually sit and look at it because I'm too busy dealing with...
I just,
Yeah, I know, I know.
There you go. Did you look? I don't even know if you did or not. Just like,
but if you go and you check it out,
you may already know what it's
within 3 months it'll update to the next version.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of stay up on a lot of these things because they are learning fucking fast.
And they're learning from us.
Yes, every one of us.
And I don't have a problem with that. I
don't either.
I wish they had. In fact,
learn the habits of people.
We just found out ChatGPT.
So we know how stupid we fucking are.
My brother put into ChatGPT, are you aware of my previous chats? And he said yes. So he has memory now.
Wow.
That Gemini doesn't have.
All right, but now check this shit out.
Doesn't have.
It's worse.
Okay.
Right? Because I have an Alexa in my house. Okay, and the Alexa listens to fucking everything.
Oh yeah, that's a full eavesdropping system.
All of that information is going right into an AI generator.
Of course.
My phone spies on me. You know it. I know it. We all know it. All of that information is going into an AI generator. Every Google search, every Yahoo, if Yahoo is still around, every Yahoo search, every Jeeves search, any search going on.
And it's also going into big harvesting centers by the government. They have literally recorded all internet traffic, which is the most mind-boggling thing in its own self, but they have said they're literally recording the internet every day.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
And you're like...
So I had this prior to this, my thought process was on... before I switched to Waze, when I was using Google Maps to get everywhere. What I realized was what was happening here was Google was collecting all of my geodata as well.
Of course, we know where he's been.
200 years from now, whoever owns Google is going to turn around and say, hey, do you want to know the life of your great-grandfather?
That's right.
It's $400 for a subscription.
That's right.
And we'll send you...
and they'll show movies of you that never existed.
Correct.
And they'll look great, and they'll have you
You'll
talking.
have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And so now they're going... I'm telling you, the sentient... The non-sentient?
Sentient is when they know who they are. Yeah, it's scary.
Smart, and there is a cabal of people in control. And people are not.
Well, it's out of the bag now.
Well, but it's...
DeepSeek kind of blew the lid on that because you can...
you and I know that. The average person doesn't.
What I'm saying is you can download these language models and you put them on a machine in your own den and you've got your own AI. So that thing, it's the same one that they ChatGPT, whatever. It's an AI and it's growing in your own little home.
Right.
It doesn't have to be connected. So that whole thing is out of the bag.
Yeah,
even if they took away all ChatGPT access, Gemini, all that, there's still plenty of people that have downloaded anything and everything, OpenAI, all of it. They've downloaded all of it. So there's the Pandora's box is already open. It's already out there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at the way the advancements on everything is happening. So, I mean, case in point, dealing with AI, dealing with all that now.
AI hemp?
Well, I need to understand the sciences behind how this is becoming so potent and legal.
They're just tuning the machine. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Dude, I have one at home.
Yeah.
That's 70 fucking milligrams.
Damn.
One of my friends, Terry Davis, who sees us down in, they come to us all over the place.
These are 20 milligrams.
And they're deaf, right? But they're fucking awesome group of people. He sent me one. They have 100. Some place was selling 100 milligrams.
And I think you can wind up getting habituated to it where it doesn't even do anything. It's kind of like a phrase we said back in the 70s, you smoke yourself straight. And I think at some point, if you don't give your brain a little gap once in a while...
Fuck that. I can't deal with human beings on a daily basis without
I know.
medicating myself.
I'm constantly smoking to myself. So it's like, the thing is, this is the funny part about this. Okay, why hemp and not cannabis? Why is hemp legal? Thank
Trump.
No, Mitch McConnell.
Oh, was it McConnell? Yeah.
The arch Moscow Mitch is the one that he got hemp to come to Kentucky. He brought hemp to the farmers. Great guy.
I wish.
In the process,
I don't know why we don't have hemp farms in Florida.
we do.
Where? There should be everywhere.
Tampa. There's one in
everywhere
Tampa.
that
It's
these
official.
fucking rotten
Dude.
orange groves are should be hemp farms.
Well, yeah, it's regular hemp. Okay, and I think that is legal. I just don't know about it. But anyway, official pharmacies in Tampa. You can have a delivery from them inside of 3 or 4 days. You get it's all packaged. And everything.
Here's the fucked up part though, is that my whole life, hemp THC was like less than 5%. Like it made it useless to fucking smoke. Now all of a sudden this shit is, I've seen it as high as.
But it's different too, because I remember after I got out of the Navy, I brought back some weed from Hawaii.
It is different.
My first joint ever was Hawaiian Maui Wowie. Okay, and yeah. And so I just laughed my ass off for a good 3 hours, and
yeah, but it's like all of them. So a gummy high is different from a vape high, which is different from a flower high.
This became legalized because based on a technicality. So it's basically the hemp engine, the canna engine. The engine's the same engine. These guys have been doing this out in canna land for the last how many years, right?
Yeah.
So they just transported all that grow technology into the legal side. So
I'm all for it. I think more
I
people
like flower.
need. I think more.
I'm a flower
I do.
guy.
So here's the fucked up thing. I because I smoke cigarettes, I stopped smoking flower and I stopped vaping and I do all drinkables and edibles.
Right.
However, I do keep a nice big stash of fucking flower in the house because hitting the flower out of a bong at night is like the.
Of course.
It's the greatest thing in the fucking world, man.
Yeah.
You know, like
so
put me watching a science fiction program with a bong and a bowl of ice cream.
This was fun, but I don't know that I'm going to do this all the time because I start worrying about the same stuff that was going on with the taurine and all this other stuff in the energy drinks.
Yeah.
So I generally will not.
I don't give a shit. Look, I look at it like this. I'm 54 years old.
Okay.
My father died at 67, which gives me 13 years left, right? If I
going out in a blaze of glory.
I'm going out and I am going to be stoned every day from now until then, just because.
Well, it's interesting.
At this age, I can't deal with fucking people
It
anymore.
is, you know what, and it is a stress relief. It is a way to immediately change your attitude.
Yes. Well, there's another part to it for me. I started using it because it was a pain reliever for Crohn's disease, and it was just targeted, specific. Use it, and I did, and it made my life so much better. However, what I also noticed is that I have ADD in a hardcore way, and my brain never ever stops.
Right. Welcome to the club.
Well,
we're in the same club.
Now, what happens is when my weed in the morning, it's an indica, right? And I take that. It's 750 milligrams nonetheless.
Wow.
I eat the fucking gummy, and honestly, within 20 minutes, I am normal. Like I can have conversations with people that don't go all over the fucking place. My brain can focus on a single task.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Rather than, having my 3 computers open and my phone going and 7 things happening, and I got a video processing.
And that does
here
come in handy from time to time. Sometimes it comes in handy. I do the same thing, but I also enjoy the creative aspect. I told you the other day I just quit beer. I sent you that little graph that I got from AI.
Yeah.
Now here's a health fact.
Well, see,
look up, and it's on my website. Let me say this first. It's on my website. It says beer versus vodka. My brother and I were having this conversation. Here I was under this illusion for several years that I was just drinking a couple of beers, a beer in the afternoon before dinner, and one with dinner, and I was only having a couple of beers.
Yeah.
The alcohol by volume for those 2 beers, those IPAs, is higher than 2 shots of vodka. If I make like an 8-ounce glass of water, shot of vodka, enjoy with my meal, I've had 2 shots total, less alcohol by volume, and I'm more hydrated. So now I'm like, God, I've been an idiot. I was under this whole thing, have a couple of beers. That's not like doing a shot of alcohol. Guess what?
It is.
The new ones are.
Yeah.
And you were saying the other day, cider?
Cider
also,
is even more, yeah. Cider's more.
Yeah.
I prefer the ciders because they're sweeter.
Now, I like the buzz.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. When I'm at Earl's and they got a great blues guy
this is the
going.
fucked up part. Like,
Okay, hit me.
I don't drink.
Okay.
And I said this to Meg the other day. I came home. I was meeting with Billy Simonelli at this place in Vero Beach, and I had a beer for lunch. And I don't normally, if I'm like this, if I'm having a conversation, I'll have a beer. And that fucking beer went right to my head, like literally.
Yes.
But it was great. It was a buzz. It wasn't a drunk. It was a buzz, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking nice. Maybe I should have a beer every day." And then I said to myself, "You know what happens to that is that
becomes
after the first week,
yeah,
that one beer is no longer effective. So then it becomes 2 beers, and then it becomes 3 beers, and then it becomes 4
So
beers."
I had to Gary Vaynerchuk myself.
Nope.
It stops.
Yeah,
It
that's why the
stops.
THC works
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
because I have a
Well, it is
specific limit,
Well,
and I don't
it
go
is
over it.
when I go, if I'm listening to really good music, when you see me down front shooting, a lot of times, versus earplugs. I'm totally enjoying it because I've had a beer, one of those IPAs. I've smoked. I'm in freaking heaven. Okay,
I usually am pretty gummied up
lost some hearing along the way, but okay.
by the second set of every gig.
Yeah.
I take it before I go on. Usually it takes an hour to go into effect, and then by the second set, the gummy really hits me fucking pretty good. If the band always is for this version of the band gels every fucking time, but if the stage mix is perfect and it puts me in the stratospheres as far as fucking.
You know what does it? I think what it is the effective use of reverb.
Yeah. Yes.
The effective use of reverb.
Oh my God! It's so fucked up you say that
everything.
because it's the goddamn truth. So if I have effective
Love that
reverb
delay.
in my ears,
Yes.
it forces me to. I get into this whole zone of expressionism
and
that
that's
I
what
don't
I'm enjoying
have
out
before.
front.
Yeah.
When you guys or Mig or any of your guys are out there just
Because if I don't, do you want
I'm like-
honest to God? This is what's going on
Yeah.
through my brain. I hope they can hear Eric. Can you hear me?
Dude,
Am I
they're
singing
hearing
too loud?
not only are they hearing Eric, they're hearing through the
Yeah.
quantum realms. ETs are hearing
Exactly.
it. I'm telling you,
And it's
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah, it is. So there is a feeling. That gets back to the entire purpose of all of this is music and presenting music and finding yourselves in a unique enough space that people go, I want to go see these guys.
Well, because people want to be a part of
Something.
an experience.
The social thing is important.
It's very important.
Very important. Yeah.
You know, it's projecting that it's the projection of the good time. There's a science behind live music.
Well, you're also presenting energy.
Yes.
There is a Shovelhed energy.
Especially at 54 fucking years
I'm
old.
telling you, dude, I don't know how much longer you're going to be lugged that shit around, okay? But there is an energy coming out from your marketing, okay? And it is going out. There is an energy going out. And if you're not putting any energy out, you can be the best. I can be the best photographer.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I can be the best whatever. I can be the best janitor. If you're not putting the energy out, nobody's going to know about it.
Well, and
you know?
the thing is that I wouldn't do it if it didn't reap rewards.
There is a satisfaction. You are a performer.
Correct.
Performers need an audience.
It would be not, and I'm not talking about the music. I'm talking about the marketing.
Yeah.
So the marketing and the social media aspect of it. If it wasn't effective, I would be very. I would be
Well, you'd
angry.
move to
I would be
something
an
else.
angry
You'd
person.
move to something
Yes,
else.
I would move
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And so, what frustrates me is when I see musicians or bands or venues not using it, when I know how simple it is, how it doesn't take a brain surgeon. Now, I happen to be a very bright person, and I dig into the behindness of these things.
Exactly.
But these things were created for the layman to use. And when the layman refuses to use them to the betterment of himself, I look at that person as a lazy person who just doesn't care enough.
You ready for the mic drop?
Yeah.
In an age of information, ignorance is a choice.
Well, when you were talking before about how information being at your fingertips. So when you and I were originally discussing the demographics of this area,
Right.
Vero Beach, Sebastian,
Nico, all
and
this up in here, yeah.
this area, I wanted to know from area to area, and I went all the way up to Cocoa Beach, and I did each town's. I asked for the demographics, and it gave me exactly all the information from the 2020 last readings were from 2024 or 2022 or something, right? But it gave me anything I wanted to know.
Absolutely.
I wanted to know how many registered motorcyclists there are in each county.
Yeah.
And it gave me
how many people have died from this or that. You could just the available information and give it to me in tables,
all these things
and it'll give it to you in tables.
These are all the things that people that have never been in business in their life don't understand are necessary for business.
Right.
Just take an argument. My father was a New York City cop, and his father was a New York City fireman who worked 20 years and retired and had a pension, and immediately went to work for the Transit Authority for 20 years and had another pension. So when he died, he had 2 full 20-year pensions.
Wow.
Gave to my father. My father said, I got to get the fuck out of New York. It's not a place to raise my kids anymore. He hated being a cop in New York City in the 70s, which was fucking, Serpico and all that other shit going on. Oh my God,
that's exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
And he bought a Burger King franchise. Now, you buy a Burger King franchise, and then what Burger King does, and this can be said for Home Depot, for Lowe's, for fucking 7-Eleven, for Denny's, for any fucking business. Any business that is on a large-scale market goes into a situation and does a full market research study.
Absolutely. And see, we can do that now. When we were doing that prospectus for the amphitheater, I said, what's the timeline on getting this done? He outlaid the timeline. You need 12 months for this. You need 15 months for that. I'm like, okay. That's why when somebody says, why don't they put such and such in town? Well, somebody's thinking about it. Did you ever watch
Bar Rescue?
But hold on. But people think about, well, why don't they do this? Why isn't that in there? And then they don't understand that somebody that has the money had to wait 18 months before soil is even broken.
Right.
Okay? So you learn a lot. And I was educated. It's like, I got a real estate guy. I got a marketing guy. I got all these people. I'm right here.
Yeah.
You're going to ask them anything.
And then you run into these, what did I just ask you? What was the question I just asked you?
The marketing?
Yeah, it was about marketing. Fuck. It doesn't matter. It just becomes a matter of people not using all of the available items.
The tools are there. Why aren't we using them?
Yeah. So
exactly.
So
well, there was fear on my part even.
I was thinking. I'm looking. I wanted to present a marketing plan to a motorcycle dealership. Okay, but I also didn't want to go into a situation and sit down and be a dumbass and say, and sit there and not know my fucking information. And so that's exactly what I did. I sat down and I first asked AI the question, list all of the information that I would need to know to open a new business in an unknown town.
Okay. In
an unknown to me town. And it gave me everything.
Deluge.
Every fucking thing from traffic patterns to which was
demographics,
which then all of a sudden that clued me in on remembering watching shit like Bar Rescue when he would sit outside
that's where you were going,
and have done the fucking market research and say, okay, this block sees 20,000 fucking cars passing it at 8 a.m. in the morning and 4 p.m. and fucking in the afternoon. Now they figure out a way to market specifically for the drive-by, but they know there's 80,000 cars.
How do you, using the opportunity.
Nobody would know that. The average fucking guy doesn't know that. But you know what? The average guy can know that with never having to leave the comfort of their couch.
Right.
So they could grab their fucking phone. They could be sitting on the goddamn
you know what
toilet.
Holds people, what holds people back, though, is like I said a minute ago, it's the fear.
It's the fear.
I was afraid of it. Oh, my God.
Were you really, though?
It wasn't a fear of...
I dive into shit.
No,
because I don't care if I fail.
Not in that... but it was... I didn't want my work contaminated. I was afraid of being... I was afraid of any contamination that somebody could say, well, you've been on AI now for the last several years. No. I just got here in August, so everything I had before August is authentic. Right. It even looks awful compared to what you can do now.
So I looked at my year stats, right? My marketing stats from a year ago compared to my marketing stats now. So a year ago is when I began using AI, and now is the difference. So I have generated an increase of 196,000 weekly views. My weekly stats for Facebook are 490-something thousand.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fucking people.
That's awesome. And that's from engagement.
That's from engagement. And so, people say, but I don't got the time to do it. Yes, you fucking do. You never sat down and learned that if you spent, say, you work a full-time job, but you got a full-time band. You want your full-time band to have the biggest, a nice big fucking following.
Right.
You do one of two things. You hire somebody to run your fucking marketing for
Right.
you, and or you sit down and you say on Sunday, I am going to plan out my posts for every day of the week. And you go in and schedule them because Facebook will allow you to schedule
Absolutely.
your fucking
and that
page
planning,
posts.
now you can have AI set up that schedule for
And
you.
it does it every fucking day. You want to know when the best time it is?
I got a guy.
Ask fucking AI.
I got a
Ask
guy.
AI, what's the best time of the fucking day
to post this
and
ad.
day of the week
Absolutely.
to post content
Oh,
on Facebook?
And another one, if you're back to the, this is a side rail, I'm sorry, but in reference to marketing your own music, they ask you what area do you want?
Yes.
Worldwide.
Yes.
It's the keyword I learned from Rick Barker. Worldwide.
Worldwide. So if
Boom.
you are an artist, right?
Yeah.
And your music is influenced, I'm just going to arbitrarily say, you're a band, you're influenced by Pantera. Okay? You find out where Pantera
Is
music
popular.
is the most popular. Google will tell you.
Gemini
AI
free,
will tell you.
You get
the
three,
the
you got
town,
the big three guys.
the city, the country, the state. And now what you do is you go in and you take a $50 test budget and you market just that area
Zip codes.
with your material.
Yep.
You're going to see a dramatic change
Targeted marketing.
in how it works.
You can pick zip codes. You can pick regions. It's
And
amazing.
the only reason, so here's my problem, okay, is that nobody has ever sat down. I think there's two reasons for this. There's laziness and laziness. Nobody has ever created a tutorial that is engaging enough for people to sit down and understand how to use Facebook properly. And
Somebody's on AI right now creating the entire
and
course.
I wish they
By
would,
the time
man.
we're done, you will see a website and the
There
entire
should
course will
be,
be created.
because listen, this is what I do. I go in and I ask it questions about
They
how
will
should I
write you the
promote this.
syllabus. Let's say you have a life experience of some specialty, you fixed watches or you did something, and you have a life experience that's got something to it that is really special and you want to pass it on. You can tell AI to write you the syllabus and write the teaser page. It will do all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a site, gigready.pro.
I say AI, use AI to fight the fucking algorithm.
Yes. Well, actually, what I've found is my site, because of AI and the podcast. Okay, this is something we never wrapped up on. Again, there's a certain skepticism, and you're saying, what does that got to do with the music business?
Yeah.
It's about reach, because what travels with that MP3 is the text, and it's the text that they still feed on.
Yeah.
They're like animals. So I'm feeding that animal some text in an MP3. Maybe nobody listens, but all of a sudden I look at my stats on my sites. 3,000 downloads this month of my podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, and I haven't had a time to do anymore. Okay, and I look at the numbers, back again to the numbers on my stats. I'm like, this is crazy. I don't give a rat's behind about podcasts.
Right.
But this is reach. So I can show people how to use even something that silly. Well, what am I going to do podcasts about? You're sitting up and you're on your couch and you turn on record and you start strumming the guitar and talking about, this musical journey, blah, blah, blah. And you do a 20-minute talk and you put it up on the podcast. You make a piece of art to go with it.
Yeah.
And you put you can put as much as you want in the comments, and poof, now you're up there with the big guys on Apple,
Yeah.
on YouTube, without having to upload anything. Once it's set up,
Well,
you don't have to do
so there
anything.
used to be a separation between realism,
Yeah,
realism in life,
right.
and the art world. There used to not be
The blurring.
an open visualization of everything in the art world until MTV created the real world.
Oh, right.
Okay, then the real world became what became norm for television with reality
Well, that and
shows
Jerry
and
Springer.
documentaries.
Jerry Springer
and-
was a huge contributor.
But what that did was that started the educational, the not educational, but it's the habitual change in human nature to go to a more realism driven entertainment.
Less formality.
Social media comes into play.
Right.
over the course of years in social media, as the advances in cell phone and video technology and AI technology and all these things changed, once again now it's blurring the line between reality and art.
It is a giant blur. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And the ones that are the only people that are actually going to benefit on that are the people that jump on board ahead of time, because everyone else is just going to be duped
and it's a wave.
Forced. I've been saying this forever. Everybody was arguing about the use. No, I'm not going to use AI. I'm not going to use. Okay, then you be the last guy.
I'll give you the Gary Vaynerchuk quote. If you're not using AI, you're going to be replaced by somebody who's using AI. Okay?
Absolutely.
So you can either hide in a corner and say, I'm not doing that. We don't do that here. And guess what? Somebody else is. There's a lot of people that are.
That's right. And it's happened in every technology, in every industry.
Only this one is happening in what they call a rocket ride. You had the internet of the 80s on up through, has been kind of a gradual climb, and then we went from big monitors, and I literally have sore backs from lifting all those big old freaking monitors, installing them in companies.
Right.
Glad I was younger then. Okay, now you got flat panels. We can all carry a 52-inch TV under our arm. All that technology has changed gradually over time. AI is like zoom.
Yep.
So that's part of the disruption, is people saying, well, it's not going to touch my business. Guess what? It is.
Yeah.
It already is.
It's touching every business.
It already is.
When automated kiosks were put up at fucking stores, to go to McDonald's and order your burger through a kiosk and not a human being, people should have seen the fucking writing on the wall.
That was the dawn. Yep. And you know what they have now is they're talking about building. I don't understand
how people don't.
They're going to build automated farms on top of Walmarts that have giant automated growing systems that'll really be fresh food. On top, it's all automated with little robots scurrying about, tending the vegetables and everything.
People don't understand.
It's coming.
What's happening?
Yeah, and people for example.
And my mother is completely. People like my mother have no idea.
I have a complete victimization story about the offshoring of the 2000s. Does anybody give a rat's ass? No, nobody cares anymore, Tom.
Yeah.
I hope you figured it out since then, because nobody cares. The fact is, we can either go into victim mode or we can see opportunity. I see more opportunity now than I have for probably a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'm just lit up.
Yeah. The problem is I wish I was younger.
Yes.
I wish that I have the knowledge now of the things now, and I had another 10 years of I still had fucking hair, and I still had a brown beard.
But get ready for this, Warren. I knew this was coming. I just saw this on Facebook. Somebody posted this thing about cancer. The AI found a vaccine for this cancer. And I knew it was coming.
Yes. But will it ever come out?
It's coming out, trust me.
Yeah.
They want it to come out. Okay? They need... See, that's the thing. Is people think, is it going to be controlled? They go, no, those people want to know if it works. They need test cases. They need people to use it.
Right.
So for them, there's money in it.
Yeah, but then it'll be $20,000 a dose or some shit.
At least, okay. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to see these anti-aging drugs. I tell people, I'm going to live to 250. If you can somebody told me this.
What's the length? But what's the length on the patent?
20. I don't know.
It can't be long.
I don't even think that's going to matter. What I see happening is, and
all those.
You think this is crazy talk, and it's okay, because
it's not crazy.
What I'm going to come up with next is, what you're going to see is, because of the devaluing of work, now you got all these humans. What are they going to be doing?
Well,
what are you going to? Okay, so now
I totally
that's
agree
going to
with
be the COVID was the test of universal basic income.
Right.
COVID was that test. Okay, worked, kept everybody's rent paid and their car payments on time. $1,700 a month. Okay. So in some cases, people were getting $1 million, whatever. But it worked. Pumping that money in kept the system alive. And that's what's going to happen. AI is going to take a lot of menial jobs, so the McDonald's and the Burger King you're talking about. There's going to be a guy in the back loading meat into a thing.
Yes, well, there's already a self-serving Taco Bell.
Yeah, and they're probably going to have trucks back up. A cartridge goes into the Burger King. It's got everything in there for the day.
I knew
or whatever.
years and years ago when they were talking about robots pouring drinks on cruise ships.
Oh, sure.
I fucking knew this was. This is the way that we are going.
That and actually, and then there's an upside to it. As we do get older, folks wind up in nursing homes. It's no longer going to be the angry people taking care of the old people.
Right.
The angry younger people that have to deal with it and hurt their backs doing it. Now. The robots will be the lifters.
Let's take this back into
the music business.
Well, just into the innovations of the world. Okay, so as musicians, I'll speak for me. As a musician, I expect that if a venue is gonna call themselves a music venue, then they have a.
Maybe what you're seeing is an evolution.
So they have a responsibility
to
run proper sound, to hire proper musicians to come in and do the effective job that is required of hosting an event with bands, okay? And in Florida here, we're dealing in these situations where it is it's fucking 85% of them are outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay, and most of these places are still using the excuse that I can't buy house equipment. We can't have house sound because of the weather. It rains and blah, blah, blah. There's fucking waterproof equipment.
Yeah, that's stuff you can put by your pool.
There's waterproof fucking speakers.
You can put them under the water.
High-grade waterproof fucking systems that you can put there in enclosed cabinets that do the job.
But they would say to us,
it's a lack of evolution.
But they would say it is an evolution, and they're going to have to find out on their own, because us saying it, well, you guys aren't running the business. You don't know what our costs are.
Actually, I do.
Okay, so now there you go. So now the exposure, right?
Right.
So now they have to decide whether they really want to step up and bring the excellence up a little better, or are they just going to keep doing what the same?
So here's the beauty on this, okay? Is that what the business owners don't understand is that the smart guy vending his service to the business,
right,
can get all of the research information he requires by typing a few fucking things while I'm having my morning coffee.
Exactly.
Like, I can say, Jim's Chicken Shack, what is their annual income? Okay. Now I can get their annual gross income.
They'll tell you a market value.
Now I can take their gross income, right? I can go there one day and look at how many employees are working. I could take that gross fucking income. I could break down the employees. I can sit down and say how many people are there in a 6-month period of time, even just a 30-day period of time, each fucking day of the week, right? And then I could take all those numbers, put them into fucking AI, and project the business model for me of what this business is making. And so now when I go in to negotiate with them, I have the power. I know you can't fucking lie to me and tell me your ring is not this or your blah 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 is not that, because if I go into AI and I ask them what is the average dollar spent on a person drinking in a music venue, it is going to take everyone's receipt that has ever been put into the fucking cloud systems that they're fucking using.
All you had to do is ask. All you had to do is ask. Yeah. And that's the thing is, these tools are there. And now, like I say, I had this similar experience examining my own work and finding out the value. For example, I didn't realize it was as valuable as it was.
Right.
In fact, that saves me as an artist the embarrassment of saying, well, I only take this much for it. You didn't realize you had a piece of gold?
Yeah.
You just gave away a Krugerrand you thought was a rusty piece of copper? Okay, it's a freaking Krugerrand. And so that, to me, was the mind blower. Why would it have to inflate anything about me? Why does it even care about me? And I've run it again, and I've run it again, run on this one over here, different model. I'm like, okay, so I'm getting what's called the new source of truth.
Right.
AI is the new source of truth. So now we're starting to find out what the gatekeepers held behind. How is this done, or how is that done, and what's the typical value of this or that?
Well, see, so
what are they charging for in this area?
The way that I use this, right, is because a lot of the musicians here are satisfied with whatever they're.
Well, sometimes it's a hobby band, and sometimes you're trying to go places.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's exactly the thing. Is that the bands that want to go places can use the information so that they hit all the demographics,
and they start flipping the tumblers.
And so now what happens is that why were there 400 people for me at Earl's? Because the only place to see me here was at Earl's.
Right.
Why are there 225 fucking people every time I play at Filthy's? Because the only place to see me in Vero is at Filthy's. Why is Connolly's always packed when I play Connolly's? Because the only place you could see me in that place is Connolly's.
You're not blurring. You got some nice focus to
I'm not blurring any lines, and I'm maximizing profits for the venue. I'm maximizing profits for me. I'm maximizing an experience for the people, because they know that they don't have to go to 6 venues in a night. All they got to do is come to me. Come to me, and I'm going to give you a fucking great time.
You almost become like a house band that they know everybody.
Yeah,
everybody knows you.
And then and instead of these bands, that stick to their town, and it's the same 15, 20 people that come to their shows, and today they play here, tomorrow they play down the street.
It comes down to, what do you really want? Is it just a hobby?
Do you want just
beer money
the money
for the weekend?
and the hobby? Right.
You're just having fun. You just want to.
Yeah, but there's a smart way to do it, right? The smart way says that, and this is the God's honest truth. When you create the marketing and you build the followings and you build that reputation everywhere you play, in one gig, I make what it takes them 3.5 gigs to make.
So you're working smarter,
and that's
not
every
harder.
guy in my band.
Working smarter, not harder.
Not only that, but that affords weekends off, because I'm making 3 times as much as the average fucking bar guy is, because I'm providing the bar with 3 times as many fucking people. And so for me now, I don't have to go out there and do this every fucking day, so that it becomes a job instead of an enjoyment. And that becomes the problem, is that when music becomes a job and there's no enjoyment left in it.
You're in a grind.
It creates an atmosphere of throwawayable music. And so when everyone's out there in this grind to play, I got to play 5 nights a week to make $500 for the week. Nah, I just got to do it once or twice.
It's all about bringing up excellence. This is something I've strived for, and
well, that is it. Excellence.
There's times I've shot stuff that I can't put that up.
Yeah, not me.
Okay,
I won't put it all up.
But I've changed that. That was 3-4 years ago. Now I see it's just a free for all. Put it up.
I'll tell you why. Eric, my bass player, he used to get angry with me. He used to get angry that I didn't
screen it a little more.
Yeah, and that I would put up flaws and I would put up these other things. And here's my thing: part of the success of anything is for people to see that you're human and you make mistakes.
Yes. Yeah.
And that you grow.
Yeah.
And so
you're not an inaccessible rock star that's got some kind of special entourage.
Right, man. Yeah. You want to be accessible, especially when you're in a cover band scene. It's a cover band fucking scene.
What you've done too is, I think, with the Eat Crows expansion that you're doing, you've brought yet another icon to your quiver of arrows that you can bring to the venue, and you're not bringing anything small.
No, that's a big that band is a fucking band. That's a
exactly.
band.
No, you're bringing in. You got Russ.
Well, I have high expectations of myself first, and so.
Well, you made a comment earlier about being raised conservative. I was raised conservative.
Were you?
My adopted father's a Lutheran pastor. Okay, so I was raised. We were
Poor
adopted.
Bastard.
Well, my twin brother and I were adopted by a Lutheran pastor and his wife, and we joke because our original ancestry is Irish. So there's no Schaefer's, there's no
Irish
Schaefer German. There's no we were up there. Yeah, so we were raised by. As we joke that we were bred by drunkards and raised by Nazis. Okay, and our adopted father was we had to get away. That's why when I joined the Navy, and then I got out of the Navy, my brother and I met up, and then we went out to Hollywood for a while, and had some crazy adventures out there. And so I know the conservative side very deeply.
Yeah.
Okay, I know both sides of it. That's why you and I can talk.
Yeah, but I ride the fence on a lot, too.
Yeah.
I do sway more conservative, but that's because my father was a Republican.
Yeah.
And you kind of...
Goldwater, I had he was a Goldwater Republican.
There's one or two things happen.
Democrat.
You either go complete opposite of your parents, or you stick to the ideology of your parents. And
and you call me a liberal, and that's okay. I have a liberal side to me, but there's some things, surprisingly, that I am probably more conservative than people would imagine.
But I call you a liberal not as a negative.
No. In fact, it's a great word.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no shame in it.
See, that's the problem. The problem in the discussion.
I was in on
when
Rush
people
Wrestling.
discuss politics, right? We have created an atmosphere where if you're a Republican, you're a nasty person. If you're a Democrat, or if you're a nasty
I remember
person,
when Rush
and it's
Limbaugh
not
came
like
on the
that.
scene. He was the one that really was good at those liberals and making fun of Democrats. Democrats would never make fun of Republicans, even though there was just as much going on, but they allowed the Republicans to brand them.
Right.
Okay? And so once you start to understand, well, Wait, the dictionary word for liberal means somebody that's nice and compassionate. Why is compassion and kindness now seen as being too much of a wimp milquetoast?
Well,
what, you want me to just be an angry asshole? Is that the new success model in life?
If you look up
I can do that. Trust me, there's plenty of people tell you I know how to do that.
If you look up the Webster's dictionary of a liberal, it's the Democratic Party, right?
Exactly. But when you read it,
I mean, it's the Republican
When you read
Party.
what it is, it's about compassion. It's all the good things in life. People have decided to rebrand as somehow awful, and you're like,
yeah, but okay.
No, read the dictionary.
But here, I'm going to tell you why.
The political word liberal is completely different than It's not much different, but it is the roots of the word liberal. Talk about it's compassion, kindness, respect for the law, the Constitution, everything else. So they're not non-constitutional. They're not about just. In fact, we can go into all these topics. I agree with some of it. Guess what? I can go full victim on H-1Bs.
Yeah.
H-1Bs ruined my IT career.
But here's the problem with any government.
I could be the complete victim on all of it.
The problem with any government and with any person that sits back and becomes a harsh right or a harsh left.
You go extreme, yeah.
Is that they're not understanding that the government is not in control.
Right.
The corporations are.
No, actually,
the Zuckerbergs.
We are allowing that.
That's correct.
We are allowing that. We
That
don't
is
have
correct.
to. And people are starting to find out we don't have to.
We are allowing it because it was so fucking easy and we were so lazy.
Yes.
And we didn't stand up for ourselves because we had an entire generation of people.
We kept thinking it was going to be better because somebody else was going to take care of it.
Absolutely.
I don't
It'll be
have
the
time for
next
that.
guy. The next
I don't
president
do
will
politics.
fix it. Or the next.
I don't do religion. Guess what? They're going to do you.
They've fucked us all.
You.
We're all fucked.
Both of them. So I have a heavy career in religion into my 20s, in my mid-20s, left all that behind. So I know the deep side of the MAGA side. I know the deep side of being a, quote, conservative Christian because I was raised in all that. My adopted dad, guess who was a member of our church in Fenton, Missouri? Joyce Meyer.
Oh.
There she was on Sunday mornings. His office door would be closed. We'd be coming over to do our little church Sunday morning thing. And the office door to his closed, and you hear in there, there they go again. And finally, she ultimately left, did her own thing, and she's on TV everywhere.
Yeah.
But I have no use for any of it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just all another big grift.
Well, and the unfortunate part is it forces us to live in bubbles.
Yeah.
You know, like...
we're all kind of cringing.
Yeah.
You know.
And we're all getting piecemeal information. We're not actually getting... So the government is actually benefiting from the fact that the populace has become short attention span. Because all they have to do is put out blurbs and wait till next week and move out the next one.
Yeah.
Move out the next blurb next week, the next narrative, the next fucking whatever, because our people have become such short attention span fucking populace that's just okay. It doesn't matter.
But you know what's happened,
Let
though?
the new scandal come out.
COVID gave people time to stop and think a little bit about, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah, you think? I don't think so.
And everybody got a pause. Now, this is true. Everybody got a pause, and that's why folks in my kids' generation, they look at the workaday corporate thing as like, are you nuts? They just see it. A lot of them see it as a complete farce. They see it for what it is.
But it is.
But it is, of course. And now AI is going to have a lot more people with time to sit and think.
Over the course of my career, of my working
and those
my
rules,
working life, right?
But what I'm saying is those rules, those control structures are no longer having the control that they used to have. Because why? People are so exhausted working. Well, they said, you know what? I'm tired of working 3 jobs just to make what I showed off of one. So they're exhausted. The jobs are drying up because of AI and because of a lot of other changes, stuff being offshore. Like bringing manufacturing back to this country is a joke.
Oh, it'll never happen.
Where I grew up there in Fenton, Missouri, big giant Chrysler factory. We drove by the Chrysler factory, Lee, Iacocca, boom, vans on the lawn of the place. You drive by there now, it is a giant 20-acre parking lot. There's nothing there.
There's a reason why
it's gone.
It sounds good in theory. It'll never happen because this country is so over-regulated that the cost...
Well, it's not even that, my friend. Let's just say you came and you said, I got $6 trillion I'm going to spend on a factory.
Yeah.
There's nobody here. The time it would take to build all that doesn't make any sense. You've already got it.
It's my kids' generation.
You're still 10 years away from even getting there.
Correct.
Plus, the only thing we have right now is those chip manufacturing, and that's why they're all scrambling to get that shit out of Taiwan.
Here's your perfect example.
Because they want to get that shit out of there.
Perfect example of how they're all fucking stupid and they're all fucking wrong, okay? And this is a dig at Joe Biden, and not a dig at Joe Biden because he's Joe Biden, but a dig at Joe Biden because the policy of going all fucking electric when the country does not have the the redundant.
Yeah, but a lot of people
network.
lost tax credits now for their solar installations on their homes.
Yeah, well, the
Okay.
whole thing is fucked up. Every
who
part
took
of it
it away?
is fucked up.
Who took it away?
Well, Trump did that.
Okay,
but
well,
I get that. But did you
Okay.
have solar on your house?
I don't have upward mobility. I have downward mobility.
You and me
okay?
both. So
Okay.
we're talking.
But
you're
there are
talking
plenty of
about
folks who do.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what about the solar farms?
But that's
Why-
another. I said that's another slide towards another grid they can control.
Yes.
That's why I see
Yes.
solar should be individual.
My
you should have your own power
FPL
plant and
went
your own.
up by $45
Yeah.
Should have gone down with all these fucking.
Oh, you have
solar
solar
grids.
on your house?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
No, they
20
just,
miles from
they'll
here is a
pad that with
fucking
all
solar
kinds of corporate
farm.
bullshit. FPL, they're just as bad as the
Yeah,
rest
they
of them.
are.
As
It's-
long as they can control a grid. See, people say these solar farms. You don't want solar farms. You want solar on every home.
Right.
Or even better are these
This is
little.
Florida.
They have little windmills this tall that you can put on this patio.
Yeah.
Okay, and they sit there.
Yeah.
Generating power.
But what's
There's
the
all
costs?
They're cheap.
involved?
I know they're cheap. I've seen
Because
it.
I worked in the windmill industry.
Not the big giant.
No, I know, but I'm
Yeah.
windmills. Why windmills don't work is because they're not sustainable.
Correct. So what's even better?
They cost more than they generate.
What's even better is this other technology that's coming online now, which kind of makes all of that look silly, which these radioactive batteries.
Yes.
They're putting a piece of radioactive stuff in their pressure.
Oh, I saw
diamond,
that today.
A diamond around it.
Yes.
Yeah. They have one that they mentioned. This was on Facebook a couple of years ago. I should have saved it. They have one that'll last 25,000 years.
Yeah.
You literally, kids. I'm leaving you the battery.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And we've had this battery in our family now for 20 generations.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is
So-
enough to power
and
anything
it's still
you
working
need.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does your house have a battery? Yeah, it's had a battery now for the last 100 years.
Well,
Okay, yeah.
I was looking into a solar generator for my house.
Yeah.
Right. $7,000 fucking dollars for a solar
that's
generator
crazy,
for my house. But what you do is you say to yourself, okay, there was a time when all this solar powered shit was very expensive.
Yeah.
And then you
coming down,
can
though.
go and buy solar powered lights at fucking Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they're Dollar Tree solar lights. They're
Yeah.
not, they're going to last you half a season if you're lucky. But the technology has gotten cheap enough in order to produce these energy efficient
And it's
things.
so sad too, because what's happening is you have this cheap labor in China that's building all this shit. We
Right.
can't build any of that
Right.
stuff. And plus, you think about it. I've seen some of these videos, and I know people have seen these too. You'll see some guy in a really almost like a barn, and he's turning metal or doing something really gritty with metal and cranking them out.
Right.
He's doing something gritty, cranking them out.
Right.
We don't have that
No.
here. And you look at the age
Yeah,
of the
but
machine he's
it's
using,
fucked up.
it's
It
40
is
or
so
50
fucked up
years
that you
old,
say
and they're
this.
still doing it.
I wonder why those come past my fucking feed. Where it'd be some guy sitting in the mud making
But-
brick fucking things or reusing
Well, no, but
tires to make.
I'm just saying these guys are like doing metal forming.
Yeah.
You'll see these guys standing in line doing, and it's like really basic labor. Really,
Yeah.
and it's not something you see here. You know it's Malaysia, you know it's China, somewhere like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And you see them. What's not the only sad part about it is because they're making bowls or metal steel
Right.
bowls or something. It's the fact you look at the age of the machine.
Correct.
40 to 50 years
or more.
That machine was here
Right.
and has been over there
Right.
for 40 years. And those guys have grown old with careers at that factory, and ours
Yeah.
have not.
But did they? Because they're fucking working.
Well, they're all throwaway over there anyway. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
everybody's
working
a throwaway.
12 hours,
But I'm just
2
saying,
shifts.
when you look at the age of some of this manufacturing equipment in some of these videos, stop and think for a second. Wait a minute. We don't have those machines here, and those machines are old there.
Right.
How long this has been going on.
Right.
So that's that. It's yeah. There's stuff that we don't even know how to do anymore.
No, it's true. And I'll see videos where I can't remember what the product is. Somebody was using a tire to create a product, and it was in some fucking like Arabian country or some shit like
Grinding
that.
it up, and then they make sandals out of it.
Something. I can't fucking remember
I've
what
seen
it
them
was.
too, yeah, they're
And I'm
crazy.
thinking to myself, why the fuck don't we do these things in this country?
Because they have a culture of manufacturing. Their kids in school have been around. Dad works at a factory.
Right.
So he's learned from dad. They've had several generations now of learning this entire process. So when they get out of college, what are they doing? Their proposal is on how to design a new something for the American market. Something new for the American market. How about this? I got a 4. Oh,
Well, this
guess
is-
what? Guess what? I got a 6.
So
the next
talking-
guy is going to come out with a 6.
Exactly.
And they have all
that-
this shit in
here's
place
that
to make
exact
it.
fucking example.
Right.
Is
We don't have a factory here that could even do that.
10 years ago, when I started the podcast idea.
Right.
I had my format was Joe Rogan before Joe Rogan was Joe
Right.
Rogan. It was free. Do this free form, have a conversation
Yeah,
because
let it
people
roll.
will respond,
Sure,
right?
sure.
And they get to see the personality side of
Get
you.
to learn a little bit about.
In order to do it, I had to have like $1,000 microphone that would pick up all the conversations. So I had to have a mixing board. I had to
mine
mix
away.
it. I had to fucking. No, you gave it to me.
Well, I gave you the little mixer.
Yeah.
That I never could get it right because I ordered the wrong
You
one.
had
Yeah.
to have,
Yeah.
every kind of cable and wire.
Yes.
Because all the adapters for each different
The
type of an item
3mm
was
and
completely fucking different,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
the
now.
hum. And then all of a sudden you got hum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, 10 years later, I decided I'm going to do a podcast again. And the original kit that I bought was you plugged it into your phone, and it was 2 microphones.
Which I
And
have right now.
Yeah, and then I realized to myself, and I loved it because the quality for a podcast
it's great,
is
yeah.
fucking unreal.
Yeah.
And then I said to myself, okay, but 2 is not enough. They have to make one where I can do 4 or more.
Yeah.
And so I looked it up, and sure enough, fucking Chinese, right, or Japanese, or whoever the fuck is making it, $39 plugs into the phone
Now
adapter.
I want one.
The phone
Yeah.
adapter works for any phone.
Yeah.
Whether it's an iPhone, it has fire. It has
Yeah, I
has
have the
old,
mine I have is a Neewer,
Yeah.
and it's got a lightning connector and a regular USB-C.
So the beauty
yeah.
on it, right, is that you plugged it into the phone. Automatically, these things they all charge up together. I pull it out.
Let's do this.
If I pull this out,
This is Boya.
it syncs up, and now we have 3. Now 3 are working.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get the room. Do you leave them? Have you used them in gigs? Maybe sit them
No,
around the room?
they're too hot.
Too hot. Okay.
Yeah. So if I use all 4 of these, and you get to the point where we're all talking over each other, it crackles.
Oh yeah.
So you have to be pretty aware of it. But here's the thing: a professional fucking podcast using my telephone, a battery to keep the charge up so that
Sure.
we can stream for as long as we fucking want,
Right.
and a $39 4 microphone set
Ta-da!
that sounds professional.
This is the future. We are in the future. Okay. Welcome to the future.
And now you say, well, okay, what? So is everybody going to market? I'll tell you how it's going to market, because this little product here, right here, I could put in my pocket, set up in 3.5 minutes, and do a business podcast at any fucking establishment
Right.
on the face of the planet.
Which we should do a walkthrough here while we're here.
That's what we're going to
Yeah,
do. We're
yeah.
going to do a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Is that what people don't understand is that they have neglected the advancements in the technology in ways to
Well,
get
some
it
of it's
out.
coming so fast. I just got used to the idea of a 2.
of a 2.
And now
and
here
there's
we
a
are.
fucking
You've
4.
already got the 4. And
Which
I'm like,
by next year there'll
yeah.
be even more, or there'll be some
yeah.
new fucking
Yeah,
thing.
exactly,
There's
yeah.
some new gadget that you can get that'll do the job so much better than something made in America. Here's the problem: is that we went from pride.
But you can't get that made here in
Well,
America.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
We went from pride of owning American made
Right.
to it doesn't fucking matter because I can get it cheaper by two 12-year-olds
It was all a
who put
race
this
to the
together.
bottom. It's
Yeah.
a race to the bottom. I mean, that's the whole thing with Wall Street. Why did I? Okay, so let's just talk about this for a second. My first experience with the offshoring thing happened in 2000. I had a contract with Home Depot down there in Deerfield, or down in Delray, and that was the last contract I could find. I wound up losing my apartment. Everybody at the time, all you ever heard about in the industry was so and so got offshored, layoffs, constantly offshoring, and then it was still an era when you couldn't really use that as an excuse. It just didn't fly. People just didn't want to believe that was why you couldn't find work. So then you spend the last 25 years in a constant fight in the IT business. It's a constant fight of what we call blind submissions. You put out a rec, we don't know who you are. The guy needs a job, and it goes into this thing.
Right.
Okay, and you don't know who you're actually talking to. Then the Indians, and I'm not making this up, they took over this thing. They took it over. They brought other people in, and they took over all these recruiting companies, and they basically weeded out our people. Okay, they filtered us out.
Right.
Which is why I was like, my resume was never enough. It was never enough. I'd do it this way, that way, see a seminar, do
Yep.
your resume this way, that way, whatever.
Yep, you
was a constant struggle.
You could put down that you were
I was
educated
Superman.
at Harvard, that you
And
whatever.
we couldn't figure
Yeah.
it out. Well, now it's come to light that the H-1B thing, the Indians completely abused the system. That's why quietly, the biggest hero against it right now is, I think it's Steve Bannon is one of the biggest outspoken about it. As much as I think other things about him, he's the only one carrying water on the topic.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's like this unseen cancer on the job industry that folks like yourself have no fucking clue what the IT business is about.
And I know.
And it's been overrun.
I know that changed in '89 when I graduated high school. I had a job that paid very well for a 18-year-old right out of high school. And to me, it was more lucrative for me to take this fucking $15 an hour job in '89
Right.
than it was for me to go to college.
Okay.
So I spent a year working. And the thing was that at that time, I had something over the job market because there was such a desire and need for employees that if I didn't like something, if something happened at that job where I wanted another one, I could quit at lunch and have another job by the time 4:30 rolled around.
Oh yeah, there were still yeah.
You know, or
Well, it
you
wasn't
knew
just-
that when you sent a resume in, or you called a company back then. You went to the classified section in a newspaper and you called the company and you left your name and you got a fucking call back, or you called the company and they were scheduling right then.
There was a response.
There was a response. You had a human being, and then it went to the monsters and the Yahoo jobs and the hot jobs and all this
It's a big
other fucking
farce.
shit
All of
that
it
got
just
into.
a big farce. Yep.
Nobody ever responds to fucking anything. There was a period where I had my job had closed up shop and gone and moved to Minnesota, and I was on unemployment, and I was literally sending out 400, 500, 600 fucking resumes
Ridiculous.
a week, dude. And I was
They're always
no
looking
responses.
for the God candidate. This is the thing that really, like, okay, so when we were coming up, you're just a few years younger, we were coming up, if you were really, really wanted a job and you saw them building over there, and
You
you
go and-
you go over there, you tuck a hammer in your belt,
That's right.
and you walk over there and say, guys need help. Okay, go see the foreman. And
Yeah.
you probably have the job by that afternoon.
Right.
Okay, no problem if you checked out. Now it was all based on the guy would say basically, well, can you hammer? Can you roof? What can you do? Boom, there's your resume, your capability.
Right.
Well, I've never worked on roofs, but I did do some of this or that.
If
Well,
you did a good job that day,
you know what
you
they'd say?
came back tomorrow.
Well, do you know what they would say then? We'd probably use you. I can show you how to do it. It's not that hard.
Right.
Now, nobody shows anybody how to do anything. There's no training. They want the God candidate or no candidate.
Right.
And
You need
and a lot of
you
it's
basically need a fucking resume to get a job at
and
Walmart.
a lot of the stuff that's out there for resumes is just resume phishing.
Right.
Nobody's getting hired for anything. We just wanted to update our resume database, and it's a complete farce.
Well,
so I think
and
that's
you
why.
think it was a farce before. Now, add all these people creating their resumes using AI, and it's even more of a
guess what?
farce. Because
Guess
the
what?
candidate is bullshit
that's
too.
a race to the bottom too.
Yeah.
Because whatever like right now, my brother just told me yesterday, project manager is no longer a necessary job function.
Right.
They're moving to this thing called governors of companies that govern the projects being run by AI. Okay, so there won't be anybody in the trenches. There's not going to be any coders. There's going to be a guy telling the agents to go build this app for the company. We need a spreadsheet that shows this, and we need that on the company this or that. And this is the thing. What a lot of AI experts are saying is find a hobby, become that songwriter, learn how to play that guitar,
Yeah.
because you're going to be needing something to fill your time.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody's going to be on universal basic income, and it's no longer going to be about taking. It's going to be about feeding your family.
Right.
You're not going to be crying about UBI because remember when everything was shut down during COVID, nobody was crying about that COVID money. When they got that COVID money,
didn't get
nobody's.
it.
Okay, well, I didn't even know I could get it until my daughter, a year into it,
Yeah.
told me about it. I only got a couple of months worth, and then I went on Social Security. But
Yeah, but that's all. Look, I mean,
It's all
the truth is,
victimization. You know what
it
I'm
is
saying?
all victimization because I was an anti-vax, and I didn't get vaxxed, and I never got sick, and there was no disruption to my life whatsoever, and honestly, there was almost zero disruption to anyone's life that was in my fucking proximity.
well, I got vaxxed and I got COVID.
Yeah,
Okay?
oh yeah.
And I didn't get it hard. It just felt like shit for a couple of days, and then I
the
got
world is moving too fast for its own good.
Yes. So I have mixed emotions about it. This political thing about whether you should or shouldn't.
It's not. Look,
It's your
God's
life.
honest truth is that there should be.
As long as you're not
we need to
endangering other
abolish
people,
politics.
as long as you're not endangering other people with whatever your ideas are or the things we have to say, it's not endangering others, taking something from them, taking their rights from them, or making them miserable just for cruelty's sake,
Yeah.
getting pleasure in cruelty, and watching people suffer because they broke a law. It's ancient. It's an ancient way of thinking to be punitive like this and to be cruel. It's not a modern world. The modern world, we follow the law. We try to, and I know the system's broken. I know a lot of people have been screwed over by the system. We've all been screwed over by somebody for something. But we do need to foster an environment where compassion is no longer a bad word, or taking care of people is no longer seen as
But how do you, it's very hard
It's a
to do
balance.
that when you have 700 different minorities fighting for.
and that's part of the problem. That's the biggest problem the United States has, is we do not
There's
have
so
a
much
unified
signal
culture.
virtualing,
We don't have a
virtue
No,
signaling.
it's not. The root of the problem is the lack of a unified culture. The Chinese have a unified culture.
Correct. But
We
they're
don't
all
have a unified.
Chinese. We're not.
But it's a proof. It's a proof of the point.
Yeah.
They don't have a problem with the kind of racism that we do.
That's true.
Okay, that's
That
not
is
even going
true.
to come up. Everybody's Chinese. Okay, they do have racism against other.
How they tell themselves apart? No, I'm kidding. That's a terrible
but they
joke.
do
I know.
exhibit their own. Okay, but anyway, we all got issues with race for no reason other than we decided to.
Well, yeah, and
We
it's
decided
inbred
to.
or for history's
We
sake
decided
or
to
whatever.
be hateful. We you look at little kids. It's the oldest axiom. You've seen it 1,000 times on Facebook that if we're mean, then if kids are taught, they don't care.
Well, all right, we went 2 hours.
We went 2 hours.
Let's take a tour.
Let's do a
take
tour,
a tour
yeah,
of the place
absolutely.
because people should check this place out.
Absolutely, this is a great little spot.
I know for a fact that my buddy Kevin Beck plays here on a couple of different occasions. You'd have to check the website, but also he does. What night is there's an open jam here or something?
He has,
too?
he's got stuff posted on the Facebook about when their open nights are.
All right,
but
let's go.
But they have, I know Cedric, was it Cedric Talton? He plays here on a regular basis, and there's another guy, Thomas Bowman. He plays here on a regular basis. So there's they have some great music nights, and I think they have an open mic night.
There's an upstairs too.
Yeah, they have an upstairs lounge.
I just would like to suggest that they open Untapped.
Yeah, we don't work here.
No, we're just doing a podcast.
They should have an Untapped because it is a great little thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's
Little loungy area. What's inside?
This is the rooftop lounge here in Sebastian. Rooftop on the water.
It's the Smoking Bungalow, guys. You're going to ask me, what is this place? Smoking Bungalow.
SmokingBungalow.com.
Bands play there.
Coincidentally, I did their website.
Did you?
Coincidentally.
Very cool.
I also did the Shovelhed.rocks website.
Yes, you
I've
did.
got them all listed on my website. You can see all my crazy projects.
It's in a cute little backyard.
Yeah.
It's a small little place. All right, take me inside. I got a hot phone. It's telling me my phone is hot.
Oh,
It's okay.
let's go inside.
It didn't fail on me last time, so I think we're all right.
Back door.
All right, we're still live. We're going to give a quick view of the place. Hello. Fully stocked.
Hi. We already checked. 30 milligrams. Come get them.
Okay, right. 25 craft brews and 26, and they do what are called flights. Explain the flights. What are the flights? See that I'm old, so I don't understand flights.
It's basically a half pour of 4 different beers.
Half pour of 4 different beers.
And it comes on a little tray. Show them the tray. Do a little show and tell.
Sell it, Tom. Sell it.
Mike's a good guy. So yeah, they give you 4 little little half glasses of different beers. So if you want to do beer tasting,
Sorry, I didn't know you were standing back there. Hi. Hi.
so yeah, that, and I guess you've got all the vape stuff, and you got and the hemp products.
Sorry, I got sidetracked by this.
That's all right.
beautiful
Everybody
dog.
loves the animals. And I guess it's like is that a plastic?
Yeah.
Plastic flute.
I guess. A bong
Very
of some
cool.
kind. Yeah. So. All right.
All right, guys, come on out here. Hope you enjoyed the podcast today. A lot
That's
of
it.
fucking information.
That's it. See you guys later.
Hi. How are you?
That was fun.